If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. This is the Underoos edition. My name is Quinn, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Ayo, Underoos.
Underoos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope everyone's been doing all right these past couple days. And for those of you who are wondering why the hell did we just randomly say Underoos, we're covering Homecoming tonight.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Of course, I don't know, maybe it would have been more appropriate for Civil War. I don't know.
It fits.
Potato.
Potato.
Yeah.
But yeah, how you doing, man? What's up? What's life?
Life is I don't know. That's quite the philosophical question.
Dadgum, I knew you were gonna say that. I literally told myself, "Oh, that's too philosophical now, Kevin." He's about to. Yeah, he did.
But I guess in a more layman's term or sense, life is living. Yeah,
good,
yeah.
Indeed.
Yes. I have not ceased living. I'm still very much alive and animated.
I can tell.
Yes.
Wait. Yes,
yep.
That's where your heart is, right there.
Right around the left shoulder.
Yes, yep. Okay. Well, it was either that or grab your tit, and that's a little weird, So yeah. I'm doing good. I'm at that phase where I'm like comfortably stuffed. Had a great dinner. Yeah, because I don't know. You ever go to some of those places and it's like, oh, it's like a veggie and meat and rice dish, but then they skimp on the veggies and meats and they overload you with rice. I went to one of those places. It's like, what the shit, guys? Stop trying to cut your budget and give me the cheap food, okay? Don't give me the filler. I want the entree, all right?
That's because
I'm still happy. I'm good.
Because most rice isn't even real food. That shit's just paste. Like most rice and pasta.
Bleached wheat.
Yeah, most rice and pastas in the U.S. literally is just paste in your stomach. Picture that for a second. That shit can't be digested. That's a huge cause of freaking heart disease and diabetes and all other kind of rampant, nasty ass shit.
Join us next time for our newest podcast, The Healthy Homies.
The Super Healthy Homies, yep. We'll tell you about all the dangers of processed carbohydrates and how sugar is the enemy, not fats. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming to be exact.
Yeah, the kid who came home. Yeah, and danced at home.
That he did, yeah. Yep. So I figured that this movie's called Homecoming for a couple of reasons. I guess, first and foremost, the most obvious reason is because it takes place during the homecoming year of Peter Parker. He's going to the homecoming dance. But I guess more tongue-in-cheek is because Spider-Man's home in the MCU.
Hey, I have a weird question, but don't hate me for asking it. I'm trying to remember, and it's not working. What does the homecoming dance mean? Like, what does that translate to? Like, the kids never left home. They're still at home. Is it like a football thing? Like, your football team came back to home after an away game, their first away game? So it's like, oh, this is our homecoming dance because of them? I mean, what? I'm sitting there thinking, I don't actually know what that means.
Yeah, me neither. Why is like that first period class always called homeroom? Is it the same thing? I don't know the rhyme or reason behind it.
I don't know. Organizational reasons? I mean, teachers, help us out here. Yeah. I don't want to get too philosophical.
It's called Homecoming because
hit me, give me your best bet.
Because we're back here for another year. This bullshit doesn't quite roll off the tongue and isn't quite as appropriate as just calling it Homecoming.
Okay, okay, you're right. That would be a long banner. That'd be an expensive banner. So Homecoming was just easier to print.
Yep.
Okay.
But it was a close call between those two. They were like,
should we be honest and forthright, or just cheap and pleasant?
Yeah.
Cheap and pleasant one. But what's the other reason? Hit us up, my friend.
Oh, I think I already said it, but it's because Spider-Man, he's coming home to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's the more tongue-in-cheek version.
That's the more important version here.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Even though it's only on a technicality, because it's not like he's really here to stay. Like, he's still a property of Sony, which I think that we need to all remember.
So in other words, I'm saying he, but we, and by we, I mean more Marvel, they jumped to the gun a lot to, technically label this movie.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige, he can call it whatever he wants to. He got a sandwich thrown at him in order to get Spider-Man
This
over
is
here.
true, and we never got the word on what type of sandwich.
Oh, we have to hit him up, send him send him a fan letter. So what kind of sandwich was thrown at you?
This is important.
We're referring to the meeting he had with the Sony executive a few years ago.
Exactly.
About
she got
acquiring
mad,
Spider-Man.
and she threw a sandwich at you.
Yeah, we're not quite sure what the circumstances were, but a sandwich was thrown in Kevin Feige's general direction. So that was the thing. But
must have been a nice sandwich. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Spider-Man: Homecoming is directed by John Watts, and it came out just last year, didn't it? Last May.
Yeah. No. June actually. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to look at that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this movie opens up with quite a lengthy opening scene here.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, I did too. It opens with Adrian Toomes and his crew. They must work some type of construction or cleanup crew, and they're clearing debris from the wreckage from Avengers 1.
Yep.
So this movie does take place in 2012. It takes place shortly after all that bullshit goes down.
Right. Mm-hmm. The famous Chitauri attack.
Right.
And everything. Yeah.
Yep. They're collecting Chitauri artifacts and all of this, and they're clearing the debris. And Adrian, aka Michael Keaton, he's showing his men how to properly cut through the bullshit, the physical bullshit, not the metaphorical bullshit.
Right. Showing them that Earth metal just doesn't cut it. You actually need to use their stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, qualified personnel, quote unquote, they come in and they remove Adrian and his crew from the project.
Those dicks.
Yeah. They came in, and with this whole high and mighty approach. I come in these movies no one ever comes in they always come in as dickheads. They never come in.
I know, right?
They're never like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm with the Department of Damage Control here, and I'm just here to inform you guys. I got paperwork with me actually, just here to inform you guys that unfortunately, due to some contractual obligations, you guys are actually removed from that project. I know it sucks, right? But it never happens that way,
right? No, and I had my first thought rewatching this movie because this was my second time. Was it yours?
Yep.
Yeah, my second time watching this movie. Now, the thought popped in my mind. Okay, what was the official name of the organization? The Department of...
They were the Damage Control, which for those of you hardcore comic fans know that's the actual thing. They're the crew that literally comes in and cleans up all the bullshit after these high damage events happen in the Marvel universe.
Right, and they were born from Stark Industries, essentially. Tony Stark.
Yeah, in this universe.
In the movie universe.
I believe in the comics it actually comes from S.H.I.E.L.D.
So. Okay, that makes sense too. But here's the biggest question. Were they just not aware that this contract existed? That, hey, legally this has already been bought out by this small town crew. Could they have not researched that better? And in turn, if they did actually want to be the pleasantry that you were mentioning earlier in such example, could they not have bought out the contract, thus paying those people to leave? I mean, dude, that would have completely killed a lot of movie. Don't get me wrong, but still.
Yeah, well, to be honest, that's the that would have been the legal approach to it, because I never got the impression that they didn't know that Adrian and his guys had a contract.
Right. They just came storming in.
Yeah, I think that they knew. I think the proper legal approach would have been to like contact them first, either via phone or letter, to notify them. And then, like you said, that they would absolve their contract, so Adrian and his men should still get paid. Look at me talking like I'm a lawyer. I just watched Better Call Saul, like 3 seasons of it. So, like, I'm all lawyered up right now, okay? I know my lawyer shit.
Drop a lawyer term for me. Give me something lawyery sounding.
My client.
Yes. That's good enough. But that does lead to a bigger thing, a bigger reveal. This opening scene did a great job in the movie language and through a movie lens of showing us that our quote-unquote villain is multi-layered, that his resolve was born of an injustice done to him.
Right.
These government officials representing that douchebaggery, we're just going to drop our big dicks in here and say, hey, this is our project now, get out.
Yeah.
Right.
But then there was this one douchebag who's like, maybe you shouldn't have maybe you shouldn't have overextended yourself. And Michael Keaton, in classic Michael Keaton
right?
fashion, goes, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say? I shouldn't have ever... Bam! And then just cold clocks the guy.
I forgot he did that. So it was pleasant to watch him, clock him out again. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's after this that it's revealed that it's Damage Control that's actually buying out the contract, and that Tony Stark owns Damage Control.
Yep. Go figure.
Yep. And then Adrian and his crew, they decide that they're going to keep some of this alien tech, and because I guess no one was really keeping track.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of it.
Yeah, there was a shitload of it, so I guess it'd be hard to keep up with.
And who knows how many corpses of Chitauri they had to dig through to get this stuff? Because we never saw that end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to think because in Avengers 1, correct me if I'm wrong, but once they finally, I guess, removed the Tesseract or whatever they did with the Scepter, they threw Tony Stark threw the nuke at the ship out of space, and then
Chitauri dissolved?
No, conveniently enough, all the Chitauri just kind of fell over dead. So I guess there would be a shitload of Chitauri bodies.
Yeah, no, you're right. I remember that actually. I can actually visualize the scene in my head now. Yeah, so why isn't New York City the largest mass alien grave?
Maybe Damage Control has been busy, and this is just like one of the last spots they missed.
Exactly. Okay, maybe you're right. They were hitting 80% of the project, and then our boy Michael Keaton was hitting up that 20% center. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah. And then this says that they fast forward 8 years. Now, chronologically speaking, what the hell is happening here? Like, when are we now? Because Avengers 1 takes place in 2012.
Yeah.
And they fast forward 8 years. That puts us at 2020. This movie came out in 2017.
So does all of this take place in the future?
I think it does. That implies...
Or did they just chronologically screw themselves? Because... Holy shit, I didn't think about the math of it. Yeah.
Because for most Marvel movies, they present them like they're present day.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, 3 years in the future, in that terribly long, but still, it's something to think about.
Yeah. Well, okay, no. At the very beginning, how many years did they say they flash forwarded to? Hit me with that number again, please.
They said 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
8 years. Yep.
I think at that point, we would need to do a few things. One, we would need to rewatch Avengers 1 and take note of the date that they give us. Like the in-movie date. Okay? Rewatch that shit, check that off. 2, rewatch any other movie in that same timeline arc. So we're going to be rewatching a lot of these movies again.
That's right. We're going to have to review the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe again.
Exactly. Get ready for a whole nother series. I'm joking, guys. No, we're good. We're not going to be repeating everything here. Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting because, once again, I'm not really sure, chronologically speaking.
That's a good catch, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Mm-hmm. Because,
Yeah.
But,
damn it, Marvel.
Yeah. Not to jump ahead any, but remember the scene that's shortly coming up here where Peter, he's recording everything.
Right.
I'm trying to remember. Was there a date that was presented in the camcorder?
No, he had an actual new age camcorder. Okay. He didn't have that old school VHS one. Oh man,
I think I just dated myself.
Yep.
But no. Anyways, this was a really cool opening, though, introducing Adrian Toomes and kind of giving us a small sense of why he's going to do the things that he's going to be doing here in the movie.
Exactly.
And then from there we go straight into the Marvel logo, that classic, or actually revamped Marvel logo.
Yeah, and this time they revamped the revamped.
Yeah, and they put the Spider-Man theme over it, which made it really cool. Yeah, it was like a cool cross between like the typical Marvel score mixed in with Spidey's classic score.
When did the original Spider-Man theme come out? Because they have not let go of that, dude.
No.
Like even the newer,
it must have been back from the '60s show, I'd imagine, the '60s cartoon.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That's some cool shit.
It is.
Like decades later, hey guys, we're gonna make a score of this.
Think about it like this: like, Batman, he's still kind of holding on to like the classic 1989 Batman theme. They just keep revamping it. Superman is still holding on to his from Christopher Reeve, you know.
Wonder Woman,
no,
Which thank goodness, that one was bad. Go Google or YouTube that, guys. Old school Wonder Woman theme, and then you're welcome.
Could you imagine Linda Carter with that hardcore new Wonder Woman theme?
Not gonna lie, that'd be kind of great. Yeah. I'd listen to it.
Oh shit! We're 16 minutes in. We've gotten past the opening scene.
I was just thinking that we have done nothing. Get ready, guys. We're gonna be here for some time. Strap in and pop that popcorn.
Oh shit! This would not be like the Guardians 2 review. I can see this already.
I know, right?
I was part of.
We flew that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's step the gas down. So.
Right. Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I guess we're in the year 2020, and
which makes sense for the technology, you know. But I mean, they've never explained the technology. It's just always great tech. That's it. Yeah.
And actually, right after the opening Marvel scene here, we get our first look at the Vulture suit right off the bat. Like we see him like coming and landing down, and right off the bat, this is really confident, I think, of John Watts to show us this suit right off the bat, because I think he knows that this thing is badass. Yeah, and I think he knows that most people who know Vulture from the comics have like a preconceived notion that this guy's kind of a loser of a villain.
Right. This opening scene already made me love this Vulture way more than any comic version that ever existed.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Michael Keaton, for putting a necessary breath of fresh air into this character, because no one gave a shit about him before, and now, hey, he's one of the best villains Marvel's gave us.
I agree. Like when I first found out that they were going to use Vulture for Homecoming,
I remember this conversation.
Yeah, like the look, like the roller coaster of emotions that I feel, because I was like, oh, cool, Spider-Man's coming to the MCU. Iron Man's going to be in it. That's dope. So my emotions were super high, and then it was like, who's the villain going to be? The Vulture. What the fuck? And then my emotions took a nosedive. I was like, God damn it. But then when I actually saw the movie and how, first of all, they wrote a really good script for the character.
Yep.
They got a really great actor for the role.
Yep.
And they made the suit and what he can do really fun and really like almost scary at the same time.
Which, by the way, it's technically Michael's second time playing a bird-related man.
That it is.
Pun intended.
Yeah. Have you seen Birdman yet?
I still haven't, and I need to.
Yeah.
I know you've talked it up so much, and it's like, damn, that sounds amazing. Yeah. But I don't have access to those things like you do. I gotta steal your HBO account. Yeah.
HBO's listening.
Sorry, guys. I'm joking. Oh, bye.
Yep. So next up, we see that Happy is a dick to Peter.
He kind of is
throughout the entire duration of the movie.
But he does not give a piss about this kid.
Right? No, Happy is not a kid-friendly person.
Yeah.
But no, Peter, he's kind of like, it's really cool how they catch us up to speed, like between everything that happened that we didn't see Peter do in Civil War.
Yeah.
And we see it from like the handheld camera perspective. And I thought it was a really cool and intelligent way to film this part of the movie.
It's actually something really hard to organically do, to set yourself up to be able to reference not one, but two of your previous movies in your newest product, in your newest movie. Like, oh, there's a reference to Avengers 1. That's a blatant Avengers 1 scenery right there. Oh, now we're seeing a Civil War scene not 5 minutes later. Like, holy hell.
Right.
Yeah. Super awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Like, seeing Peter's sheer excitement, seeing Happy's sheer frustration.
Yeah.
And seeing everything from Peter getting the suit that Stark made for him. And
what are you wearing? I'm wearing my suit. Did you get the case? Yeah, I did get the. I loved that.
Yeah, that was all great.
Tom Holland, guys, I'm just going to say it now because it's going to be said numerous times tonight. So let's just go ahead and pull the e-brake off on this one and just drop the ball now. Tom Holland is my favorite movie Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just the shit for
right.
me. Yeah.
You know, most times, guys, when we say things that we feel really passionate about, we still, put the brakes in ourselves and just leave it at our subjective opinion. But to me, it's pretty much a fact. Tom Holland is the best live action Spider-Man that we've ever gotten.
Exactly.
With all due respect to Tobey Maguire and
Andrew
Garfield.
There you go.
Yeah. With all due respect to those two guys, like Tom Holland, he's just hand down better.
Oh yeah, I mean he was a better Peter Parker. He was a kick-ass Spider-Man. I mean,
yeah, guys,
you're playing with a pair, maybe three of a kind over here, whereas Tom Holland was a straight flush. Okay, come on.
No, we both felt that way. Even during Civil War, that wow, I think this kid is going to be a really great Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm glad to see that the ball was not dropped and he maintained that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know who helped him uncover his inner Peter Parker? We've talked about this, but I want to talk about it real quick. Yeah. Guys, one of my favorite actors now.
Jon Bernthal.
Jon Bernthal. Yeah. He ripped the Band-Aid off before I could. But Jon Bernthal. So apparently he and Tom Holland are actually pretty great friends. And Jon would help Tom by, script reading and whatnot. And Tom, in turn, helped our boy Jon Bernthal to get the part of Punisher by videoing him doing an audition role, essentially.
Yeah.
Long story short. But, yeah.
All he did was send in footage from Walking Dead. This is perfect.
Yes. This is what we need.
But
that's anyways, probably what they could have done.
Let's see. So, yeah, I have here that this is just a hilariously great scene because, just seeing Peter's sheer excitement and seeing all these in-between scenes that we didn't really get in Civil War. And, seeing like his just... He's just so excited. Like, even after the fact, he's back.
Guys, the most amazing thing just happened.
Yeah. And then even like he has the camera set up and he's like yelling into it about how excited he is. And then like Happy knocks on the door and then we see him do like this cool ass backflip and then try to act all natural. But yeah, it was a great scene.
Yeah.
This whole thing I thought was really fun and really well done.
Plus, it's too easy to relate to our boy Peter Parker here at this part because, I mean, who wouldn't, completely fanboy or fangirl out over, oh my gosh, guys, I got to be in Avengers fight, the biggest one. Yeah. I took Captain Shield, I threw it back at him, then the guy turned big. I mean, who wouldn't completely fan out and want to video themselves and just nerd out like our boy Tom Holland did?
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. During the scene where Tony and Happy they're driving Peter Parker back home, you notice that Tony's wearing a cat shirt?
Yeah.
I thought that was just really...
I'm pretty sure that was totally Robert Downey Jr.'s call. He's just like, guys, I came in to set in a cat shirt today. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay, Robert. You do whatever you want.
I mean, damn, like, I just have to, like, is it in his contract? Like, I have to assume that someone had to sit this man down in, like, makeup and all that, and makeup and wardrobe, and be like, okay, you're going to wear this nice cat shirt, Mr. Stark. All right.
No, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to put money on it, but I'm pretty sure that was just literally Robert coming into set saying, all right, guys, this is what I got.
I mean, there's no evidence to support that. But
there is none. We'll have to ask Robert one day. Yeah.
And then we do another fast forward here 2 months later, and this is where the story really starts to take place. And Peter, he's still waiting for that new mission.
That poor kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't blame him, you know, like, to be a 15-year-old and then to get superpowers and then to fight alongside, like, the heroes you idolize, and even fight some of them.
Exactly.
You know, and then, like, oh, wait a minute, am I an Avenger? You know, just that sheer excitement.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, as he's going to school, we meet Flash Thompson, who was... Still, even after my second viewing, he was just so underwhelming and one-dimensional. I mean, it's not even just the physical aspect of this guy. It has nothing to do with the kid's race. I don't give a damn about that. But to me, what really bothered me about Flash Thompson was a couple things. One, he's small. Like, Tom Holland is bigger than this kid, for one thing. And secondly, like, you don't fit the bill of that Flash Thompson bully. You just don't. Like, not even from a psychological aspect. Like, you don't fit that bill. Like, they could have called this guy anything, but
exactly,
he didn't have to be called Flash Thompson.
No,
because if they had named him something else, I would have never thought. You know who he reminds me of?
Exactly. That would never have happened.
Right.
I mean, think about it, guys. Flash Thompson in the comics was a bully. He was a big old dickhead. Yeah. And he eventually becomes Agent Venom.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Do you see this kid borrowing his daddy's money, you know, obsessed with trophies and whatnot? Do you see him ever being a badass Agent Venom?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they completely, like, rearranged Flash's story because, to my knowledge, Flash doesn't come from a lot of money.
No. No.
And also... like, Flash, he's not dumb, but he's not, like, you know, this super smart decathlon guy either.
No.
You know, he's a jock.
Exactly.
Flash is a jock.
He was a sports kid, not a trivia kid.
Right. And, you know, maybe they thought that version of a bully was outdated, but Flash Thompson's, like, the OG Flash Thompson is more relatable, not relatable, but more understandable than what we got here in this movie.
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand. And also on top of that, like, Flash in the movie, like, he just...
it's one of the few problems we have in the movie, so we're going to rag about it for a minute.
Like, Flash Thompson here, like, he's not a bully. He's just obsessed with Peter Parker. I'm like, are you in love with this kid?
I know, right?
Because every time you see him, you just fall in love with the guy. Yeah, you just keep going on about him.
There's nothing wrong with that, but are you gay for him, man? If that's cool if you are. Just let us as an audience know.
Right. It's absolutely fine if you are.
You know, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just kind of the vibe that I got from Flash here. Like, he's not bullying Peter. He's just obsessed with Peter for some reason. But
like, the first thought that comes to my mind when a hero saves me from a falling elevator, reference to a future moment, it's never going to be, are you friends with such and such? All right.
Yeah, there's that obsession.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I digress. We've ragged about him for a good while.
Yes, we have.
But again, I'm going to speak for myself here, probably for Quentin too. It's one of the few problems I've had with this movie.
It is. Yeah.
So let's what's going on next, my friend?
So moving on, next we immediately meet Ned, his sidekick best friend,
which was cool.
Yeah, what you think of Ned in this movie?
I liked him. Yeah, he came off super well. He was good, fun, comic relief, you know.
Right.
And he wasn't like a plastered makeup face of jokes and bullshit like we've got in past movies, which I will try not to bring up. But he was organically funny. Like,
he really was. He had personality.
Exactly.
And he had depth, and he and Tom had good chemistry. And so that all really helped mold together. Like, he was good enough, I think, to make most of the moviegoers temporarily forget about Harry Osborn, who is, canonically speaking, the best friend of Peter Parker.
Yeah. And here's a quick question to you. Our boy here was not canonical at all with the comics, right? Let's just clarify that.
No, he's in the comics.
He is in the comics. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. I myself was under the belief that he wasn't, but that's cool. I did not know.
Yep, Ned is a comic character. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know about his 3,000-piece Death Star, but but hot damn.
I know, right?
Like, I guess Legos are the new puzzles of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, the more I think about it, you're right.
I think I'd appreciate that a little bit more than a puzzle. I'd rather put together
well, that's 3D.
Yeah.
You can build that shit and be like, ooh, look at this. I made this, versus a picture. No offense to flat puzzles.
Yeah. So next we kind of get like a glimpse of what Peter's day in school is like. He's making web fluid in like chemistry class. I'm like,
that's a ballsy move.
That's not the smartest thing. But then again, he's 15 years old, so I don't expect him to make all smart choices.
True. Yeah.
Like I'm almost double that age, and I still make a lot of very not smart choices. I can still be mentally mistaken for a 15-year-old sometimes.
Damn.
Let's see. Next, Peter and Ned, they are crushing on Liz, and they are crushing hard.
And that was the funny part, because that was in one of the trailers too. It was awesome to watch that.
Yeah. Now here's something interesting. The actress that plays Liz, her name is Laura Harrier. Okay. I did not know, nor would I have guessed, and also wasn't thinking about it, but she's actually 28 years old.
That would explain, one, why she was taller.
But no, I mean, that doesn't explain it. Tom Holland's 21. Ned is 21. Tom Holland, he's just, kind of a shorty.
What else was this chick in? Damn.
I think she was in...
she's going to be in the new Fahrenheit 451 movie, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Which I do want to go see, because I loved that book. But that's another note for another night.
I just thought it was interesting that they went that route to catch the, I mean, at the time of the filming, she's probably 26, but who knows?
Yeah, she just turned 28 recently too. Her birthday, I did have to look her up real quick. Her birthday is March 28th, so yeah, wow, she's older.
Yeah. And then again, like that's the thing about like casting for like these kid roles, because they're always going to age out of them, Like even Tom Holland, like he was 20 when this movie came out, so like for Spider-Man 2, whatever they're going to call it, like he's going to have to like be in college or something. They can't keep him in high school,
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of time before it becomes visibly obvious that Tom Holland is not a high schooler.
Right. Yeah. Which would be good, because then it forces the writers and the producers to be creative with that, to even pull more from the comics and how they dealt with him no longer being the high school kid. Yeah.
Right.
So that could work.
Yep. But to be fair though, like both Toby and Andrew were 25 when they first were cast as Spider-Man. So,
hey, it's not as bad. You know who was the worst actor to ever be casted as a high schooler?
It had to be from like Happy Days or something.
No, not quite.
Really?
No. John Travolta for Grease.
How old was he in Grease?
Dude, let's give me a second, because this is worth it.
Oh my gosh, we're never going to finish this movie review.
No. This is JohnTravolta.com website? Shit, what the hell do they do there?
It's devoted to his hairpiece.
Dang. Well, better that than, I don't know, than Scientology. But
damn. No disrespect to any of our Scientologists. No disrespect,
but it's like, what? It's not like he's the face of Scientology, so it's like, oh, what's his website about? Oh, hopefully it's more than something one-sided, yeah.
And also, we apologize to the homies because we are wildly distracted.
A little bit. Okay. 29. Yeah, he was a 29 high school senior.
Yeah. I think Fonzie was still like in his 30s.
Was he?
Or close to, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, let's do it. Let's go back.
Yeah. Problems with kid actors. That's what we got on that tangent.
That's right.
Yeah. But anyways, after school, Peter, he goes and he gets a sandwich. Oh, and also, by the way, I forgot to mention, during the lunch scenes when we first see Michelle, like the loner kid who, she has a really fun personality. Fun to watch. Probably not fun to actually be
around.
Yeah.
You know who she reminded me of?
Who's that?
Raven from the old school Teen Titan cartoon.
I can see that. Yeah.
But she was cool, and she was a breath of a different personality in the mix. And you couldn't tell from this first scene, but as you see later on in the movie, that she was actually very much involved with the life of Peter Parker and Ned, and like how they were all intermingled.
I think that what's happening here is that both Michelle and Flash have hard crushes on Peter Parker, and neither one wants to admit it.
Especially not Michelle, because she had that hardcore like exterior going for her. Like, right. You guys are dorks.
Yeah. I mean, she like just straight up like observing these guys, and she does it all throughout the movie, and it's really subtle, but it's there. But yeah, moving on here. After school, Peter he gets a sandwich from the shop. I think the guy's I think his name is Omar or something, who owns the shop. And then he goes and he gears up. We never see him eat the sandwich, so
no.
Anyways,
no.
He goes and he gears up, and we get to see how that suit works. So it's not like a skin tight suit that he pulls on, but it's more like a baggy,
like a vacuum suit,
right? Yeah, and he like, presses a button, and then but then that leads to question though. Like, was the mask attached to that suit?
I got it. He had to put on the mask firmly, right? And then it just kind of like hangs off of his neck, but then like this part up here was like a little tighter, right? But then whenever the vacuum happened, it sucked it in, and then whenever it was like closing up around the neck, it started closing in around his head too. So it was the suit first, and then as the head later.
Well, because we see the mask, that's a separate part of the suit. But right here, it looks like it's all one thing.
That's how good of a vacuum system is.
I mean, because we see it like attached to the suit. That's what I'm getting at.
Someone call Tom Holland. Ask him how it works.
Knowing Tom, he seems like a really sweet guy, but if you ask Tom a simple question, he'll accidentally spoil Infinity War. That's just kind of
that could be great. Then have him come on the show. Seriously, like right now would be the prime time.
Oh man. All right. But let's see. So Spider-Man, he's going around looking for crime to stop and all this, and he's doing what he can. But this does a really good job of showing that like not everyone is getting stabbed and murdered. In New York City, there's a lot of like small petty crimes, and he's going through and he's stopping a lot of misdemeanors and maybe a few felonies here and there. But
getting churros bought for him too.
Yep, getting churros. Yeah, free churros. And then of course we get the Stan Lee cameo, which was pretty great.
That was good.
He accidentally webs a guy up who was trying to break into his own car,
right? And
it makes a whole big scene,
which was funny because that was like a lot of typical New York personality there.
Yeah.
But also imagine with me real quick, yourself and our fellow listeners here. Imagine, please, with me, Spider-Man. Imagine from the point of view that you're the guy at the churro stand, okay? You're the person who's vending churros, you're selling them, and you're doing good today. And this old woman comes up with a slightly taller young man dressed in a spider suit behind her. And she's just sitting there all nice and brittle and kind-hearted saying, I want to buy this young man a churro. Like, does he just stand there and just say, hey, thank you, and just waits kindly for the churro? Like, you're a superhero standing behind this old woman, like, dwindling, like, playing with your thumbs, just like, oh, thank you for the churro.
I didn't get to watch the deleted scenes, but that should have been a thing.
It should have been.
I mean, just like when he was looking for something to do, and the guy goes, hey, Spider-Man, do a backflip.
And that was funny. Yeah, I like that.
And then awesome. He does a backflip. Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, so he's going around just trying to find stuff to do, but eventually, let's go ahead and skip to the part here where
let's do it.
Where he sees these robbers that are crudely dressed as the Avengers, robbing an ATM station, and they're using Chitauri tech, looks like, and Peter, he swoops in and he's stopping them, but he realizes that they got some shit going on here. And Mr. Omar's shop gets destroyed. Peter swoops in and he saves Mr. Omar and that lazy cat, and the robbers get away. Were these robbers? They were the same. Yeah, they were the same robbers that are for Shocker's crew. I mean, not technically Shocker's crew,
right?
But Adrian's crew. I guess I was wondering, like, why are they knocking over these ATMs? It seems like outside of their typical MO.
Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe every now and then someone from the crew did, hit up an ATM or something.
At a later scene, though, with our boy Donald Glover, we see Peter swooping in, and he goes, "These must be the guys from the bank heist. I mean, from the ATM incident." So we're led to believe that those are the same guys, but
yeah.
Anyways, Mr. Omar's shop gets destroyed. He carefully sneaks home, and they make a whole deal out of it, how he carefully sneaks in the window. He shuts the door, not making a sound, and he lands, and fucking Ned is on the bed.
Which was hilarious, yeah. Classic Peter Parker fashion. No one can keep that secret, yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'd be a little upset if I was Peter, like,
Ned, what the fuck are you doing here,
right?
Man? Yeah.
This, I don't know if the spider sense will kick in for this, but this would be a really nice time to have a spider sense.
Yeah. And it technically wasn't danger.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was a threat in a sense.
It was a threat in a sense, but not one.
It wasn't like imminent physical danger.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that evolutionary,
right.
Oh, you're about to get like hurt potentially lethally, you know? It was more like, oh, by the way, there's a friend. Oh, I'm too late. Whatever.
If spiders actually had that, this world would be ruled by them.
Shoot. There was actually a scientist. I don't want to go on this for too long, so less than a minute. Mm-hmm. There was a scientist who actually declared that if spiders stayed the same size that they have been whenever, the Earth was much younger, then this would be their planet, because they were much larger bastards.
I feel like if anything stayed the same size.
That's true. There's a lot of fearsome animals. Like, go Google it, guys. It's actually kind of awesome, but spiders used to be much bigger. Basically, think dogs, but bigger, hairier, and more legs, and holy shit, why is that so big? Yeah.
But no, anyways, I thought it was really interesting, though, that at least for my first viewing, I didn't even realize until after the movie was over, and so I was thinking about the movie, that there was no spider sense in the entire movie.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. I remember thinking that, but, I just didn't... That's kind of lame. But, no, the funny thing is, in the trailer... The Infinity War trailer, we see his spider sense. Or something that leads us to believe the spider sense, however you wish to interpret it.
Yeah, I think
the hairs on the bus.
Yeah, they made a big deal about that because I think that's the first time that he gets it.
Okay. Yeah. So in other words, it's like an evolutionary power, thus kind of still growing on to him.
Yep.
Sure.
The next step is he's going to start shooting the web from his butt.
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh.
Well, hey.
Or they go old school comic and he gets the grows like exactly, yeah.
Or just become Man Spider. Remember that creepy ass shit from the cartoon?
Gosh, I hope not. This innocent, fun-like movie is instantly going to become like a horror classic.
Anyways, we got to keep going here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Ned is asking like 1,000 questions, like this night and the next day at school.
Yeah,
we get our first Captain America educational video, which
was great.
When was this filmed? Like after Avengers or way back when he was kicking ass during the war? I'd imagine that it was filmed like after. Avengers.
Yeah, that's my thought too. Like sometime after Avengers,
and because that's when the
news. Yeah, remember at the end of Avengers, there was like this big newscasting, and that's when Captain America became like a more public ordeal.
Right,
like all the heroes. Yeah, I imagine.
I was looking at the suit and trying to tell.
Yeah, but he's changed suits a few times. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he either be wearing the suit from Avengers or he'd be wearing the suit from Captain America 1. He was wearing the suit from Avengers, so
true.
I just assumed that it was taking place.
Well, most of Captain America 1, he was like years before Avengers. Technically, he was like pre-freezing.
Yeah, he wore. Yeah, he wore like a costume. Then,
right. Yeah,
and then he got an actual suit.
That embarrassing getup.
Yeah. But no, we got our first Captain America educational video, and it's pretty great. You just know that Chris Evans had a blast doing those.
Oh yeah.
And then next we get a really almost not quite jarring, because I mean this is high schoolers and high schoolers talk about a lot of shit. But it was a little bizarre, like caught me off guard a little bit. We get the marry, fuck, or kill scene is what I call it. And it's when Peter's doing sit-ups and Ned is still asking 1,000 questions. And then there's Liz. There's her the little blonde girl. I think her name was Betty.
Yeah, Betty Brandt.
Yeah, Betty Brandt. And then there's another guy there, and they're playing marry, fuck, or kill. She said she would fuck Thor, she would marry Iron Man, and she would kill Hulk. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah, I was about to say, good luck to all the above, actually.
Yeah. Tony Stark, he's done some things, but statutory rape, I don't think is on this list.
Yeah, no.
Same thing with Thor. I don't think you're quite hardy enough for his taste. And as far as killing the Hulk, maybe you can kill him with kindness. I don't know.
Better men than you have tried. Yeah.
Oh shit! But
yeah.
Anyways, it's at this point then where I felt that this was a little not really forced, but like a little on the cheesy side when we find out that Liz kind of has a crush on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like, well, why?
No, exactly. Yeah. It's
really contrived. I mean, like they had good points, like. I feel that, like, if these people existed in reality, like, obviously I think that most women would be flocking and just drooling over Thor.
Yep.
And also Captain America.
Yep.
And also Tony Stark. Because he's
50, rich.
Yeah, filthy rich.
He get all the gold diggers.
Yeah.
But, shit.
Yeah, but
it doesn't say much for you and me, man.
It doesn't. It does not bode well for us at all.
It does not, yeah.
Because we are also not even Spider-Man, so...
Well,
sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Exactly, yeah. Laugh at the pain.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know why they did this. I mean,
I guess they did it because they had to for the plot.
Exactly. I was just about to say that in so many words. It had to be something just to support the narration. And at this point, it was like, oh, hey, let's spice it up a little bit.
Yeah. So Peter and well, first of all, Ned he opens his big ass mouth and says, "Oh, Peter knows who Spider-Man. Oh, Peter knows Spider-Man," and. God, I'd be so mad if I was Peter.
Exactly. At this point, it's like, okay, maybe he was just innocently trying to be a good wingman, which I can respect that, but the non-open-minded half of me says, dude, you giant dickhole, right. Shut your dick hole, you know?
Yeah. And then Peter has to step in and cover for himself and say, through the, what's it called? The Stark Foundation.
The internship.
Yeah. But no, so they, Peter and Ned, they agree to go to Liz's party. And the next note I have here is Flash is the worst. I should have put Flash is the fucking worst, but
I think that just comes granted.
Yeah. It does. Because of course Flash is there DJing because, of course he can do that. And as soon as Peter and Ned walk through the door, what does Flash do? Oh man, his eyes go towards his crush, Peter Parker.
Right? Hey, there he is. Yeah. So what's going on downstairs? Oh, calm down. We gotta make fun of him first.
Yeah. It really is like that childhood, like how a lot of kids when they're really young, like they pick on the person that they have a crush on. Mm-hmm. That's just the vibe I get from Flash.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of like how boys in the old school yards would, pull on the hair, throw rocks at the girl. Right. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Yeah. This is him pulling on the Tom Holland hair.
Right. Except 15 is a little too old for that, but
it really is. Yeah. But they're still immature as hell.
That's true.
And Flash is a weird ass choice here. You know? Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah, he is.
Oh gosh, hear me out. Yeah. Maybe in the future. Give me a second. Okay, maybe in the future, Agent Venom is solely Agent Venom because he's so passionate that he's fighting so that one day he might be with his one true love, which is actual Spider-Man.
Holy shit.
And that's a bad rewrite for you.
That's like bad fan fiction is what that sounds like.
That's not even fan fiction. That's just bad. That's just bad fiction. Yeah. Because I'm not a fan of that. But it is funny to me. All right, let's do things.
So Peter, he's sitting on like I guess he's sitting on some kind of like maybe the garage or something across from the house that the party's in, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to say when he swoops in as Spider-Man.
Yeah, and who hasn't been there?
Yeah.
Who hasn't done the mirror game? Like, hey, how you doing? No, that's not good enough.
Yeah, who hasn't pretended to be Spider-Man and thought, what am I going to say when I show up as Spider-Man? I do that every day.
Yeah, there you go. Just replace Spider-Man with Batman.
There you go. But no, he's trying to figure out, what kind of games he's gonna play here, what kind of games he's gonna spit, and then he sees like an explosion off in the distance, and thankfully, the Peter Parker that wants to save lives kicks in, and not the Peter Parker that wants to get laid, because if that Peter Parker was dominant, then he'd be at that party. But no, he swings partially into action to stop this or to see what this explosion is, only to realize that he is in the suburbs. There will be no swinging.
Exactly, yeah. Which does answer an age-old question that a lot of people have kind of poked fun at. Like, so if Spider-Man wasn't in New York City, would he be useless? He's not exactly useless, but it is more difficult in this setting.
Yeah, his traveling isn't quite as versatile.
That does remind me. I recently read a short about an alternate what-if universe where Frank Castle was pissed at just every superhero, and he led Spider-Man and Venom, actually, into... No, not... I think it was someone with Spider-Man and Spider-Man, but he led them into the sewers where their power was, like... more conflicted in use down there, and that's how he was able to off them. But that was like this whole alternate storyline. Yeah. But anyways, same play.
Let's see. So he eventually has to run to this explosion, and he's going through people's yards and just. It's not a pretty sight. It's a fun sight though.
Yeah.
And this is when he gets to the bank robbers, and they're trying to sell a fully powered Ultron arm to Aaron Davis. And now, first of all, I didn't even realize in my first viewing that was an Ultron arm that they were trying to sell that was setting off those explosions.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty great. Because, it makes sense, too. Because in Sokovia, there's got to be an ass of Ultron box.
Exactly.
Just like in Avengers.
Free for the taking.
Yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, so Aaron Davis is being played by Donald Glover.
Which is great.
Yeah. And this was a really, really fun and interesting thing, or Easter egg to even have here in the movie. We'll get into this a little bit later on in his other scene here.
I was hoping we would.
Yeah. But Aaron Davis is trying to find just a little weapon to stick someone up with, and I'm like, maybe you should go see your local neighborhood drug dealer, go see the shadiest one. He can get you a piece, but going to see these guys here that have WMDs and world shattering weapons, you don't need to be fucking with that, and he knows it. But let's see. So Spider-Man swings into action and saves Aaron's life, and then he's both attacked by and starts fighting off these guys and starts chasing them. And it's a fun chase scene here. And then the guys realize that they may need to call in for backup, so they do. And then in swoops the Vulture.
Yeah.
And this is technically what I call Spider-Man versus Vulture Part 1. It's a very short-lived thing. Spider-Man's caught off guard. He's taken up into the air, and then he's dropped. Quit kicking me, Kevin.
Your feet are in the way.
But yeah, so he's dropped into a lake, and he's all wrapped up inside his parachute.
Yeah,
and
the parachute from the smart suit.
Yeah. Have you seen that video? I'm gonna talk again of
Please do.
I think there's two videos floating around. I think one in Australia, one in Brazil, where it literally rains spiders. how goddamn terrifying that is. Yeah. It has something to do with like what these spiders do in like certain climates and conditions during certain times of the year. They make some kind of webbing and then it
just carries them up because of the heat or something?
And then like it literally just pours down raining spiders. Terrifying.
I want to see that, but at Halloween, because that is some shit.
Oh my god!
I gotta YouTube that. And that's of course Australia of all places.
Yeah, I think there's one video in Australia and the other one I think is in Brazil. But yeah,
okay, I'd believe both.
Yeah. And now and that's a shame because these are two places that I wanted to go, and now I never will.
Just bring an umbrella and a flamethrower.
An umbrella that has flamethrower. I need one of the penguins' umbrellas.
Exactly, yeah. I was just about to make that joke. Just, you aim the flamethrower in the sky.
Yeah. Oh, no, because then the little bastards be on fire just scurrying around. That's even more terrifying.
An inflamed spider. That sounds like a bad summon in a video game.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Anyways, Iron Man, he comes in and he makes the save, saving Peter Parker from the pond. And Iron Man and Peter have a talk. Technically, Tony Stark, he's not there. I don't know where the hell he is. But he's having a good time wherever he is. And he's talking to Peter basically about laying low. And he says, I want you to try being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. There it is. Yeah. And they could have named the movie that.
Friendly Neighborhood?
Maybe, yeah. I guess maybe it's too long.
Homecoming just had a nice catch to it. It did. It worked.
I mean, I guess it did. It's still like, Homecoming. But
yeah. Well, it would have been better than something blasé like Spider-Man. But Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, yeah, that would have worked for me.
Yeah. I thought so too. But no,
I mean, the second one can't be Homecoming too.
Yeah, it can't be.
It can't be. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe we could sell them the rights.
Maybe Graduation. But it's funny. Someone else has already made this joke, so I can't even take credit for it now.
Shit, what's the joke?
Well, you really have to be like a fan of Kanye West to understand it. But Kanye West has his albums, like the first, his first 4 were really good. Okay. We don't need to talk about what came out after that, but his first 4 were prolific. But anyways, they were called like College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, and but yeah, those first 3 though, like they really go hand in hand.
Cool.
And someone made the joke of tying them all into like Spider-Man movies. Like there's Homecoming, and then there's Late Registration followed with Graduation. And I thought it was
that's nice.
But. Yeah, no, anyways, Iron Man here is really trying to talk him into like laying low. I don't know if there's a bit of a plot hole here, but there's some kind of disconnect at this part right here, where Spider-Man is explaining to Tony, like, look, I was attacked by this crazy shit, and they have all these advanced weapons, and there was a guy in a suit. He dropped me into the lake. I mean, it's weird that Tony's not even thinking about this. And then Peter even says something to the fact of, or Tony says, you should leave this to the professionals. And Peter's like the Avengers. And Tony goes, no, that's a little below our pay grade. And my thoughts like, well, who?
Exactly. Who's in between Spider-Man and the Avengers at this point? Is that an X-Men joke? I mean...
is that supposed to be for like the Netflix Defenders? That would have been pretty cool to see.
Actually, that would have been super badass. I could see Jessica Jones punching the shit out of a Chitauri, but or a Chitauri dressed thug. Yeah. But no, you're right. That is kind of a weird thing. Plus, I whenever I saw this part, the point of view that we constantly get from this movie is that of Peter Parker, Tom Holland, Peter Parker, which kind of at sometimes comes off like one of those friendly TV shows based on the teenage mentality, where it's always like the adults are looking down on you type thing, and they really played into that well in this movie, whether they want it to be or not.
Right.
And I think in this case, they really did want it to be like, oh, hey, we're going to try to do it from this point of view with this mentality, kind of like okay, kids, this is what you think is right. Go for it.
Yeah.
Because I think any other movie, any other day of the week, Iron Man would have been like, okay, I'll look into it. Mm-hmm. Easy peasy.
Right, because I feel that Iron Man in like 2 minutes flat could figure out what that flying thing was, figure out that it's made from like Chitauri tech.
Exactly.
Figure out that
that's a real problem. Yeah.
Figure out that it's Toomes that's in the suit, and then shut that shit down.
Exactly. He could have asked Friday is his new girl, right? The one that replaced his boy. Yeah. So. Yeah, and that could have been like a quick internet search for them on, the Stark servers, and done.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, let's go take care of it real quick, kid. Come on.
Right. Would have been quick and easy, but then again, I guess that also would not make for a great movie.
Someone call how it should have ended.
I think they've already done this movie.
Well, tell them to do another one.
Shit. Yeah. But moving on here, the next question I have is, where does he keep his smartphone? He does the classic video game technique where he reaches behind his back
and it's just there. Yeah. Which is always a magic question. Like in so many games, not just old but even new, like Witcher. There's so many times when he just reaches behind and pulls out a potion, and you're just like, where was that?
Yeah, it's with every single video
every
game.
Damn game.
Yeah. But
what's even worse? The reach to your back and grab a gun.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, okay, I'm trading out guns now.
Right. I want to see that in the movie now.
Yeah,
but no, it's just funny to see that done here in Homecoming. How he just reaches behind his back, because I mean, not that I'd be looking for it, but wouldn't there at least be like some kind of square shaped bulge somewhere?
Right. Yeah,
if he had a smartphone. Anyways, it's just a dumb question I had. So Adrian, he inadvertently kills the first Shocker.
Yep.
That was a shock.
I thought that was a gravity gun.
Yeah.
No, that's
This is an anti-gravity gun? No, that's the disintegration gun. You really should label those.
Again, this was a funny scene for what happened.
Because, you go from thinking, oh man, this guy's straight up evil. Like I was afraid at first, because I was like, you don't need to be like this psychopath, kill whoever gets in your way type. You don't need to be that cliche of a villain.
Right. No. Thankfully, your resolve shouldn't have led you to that complete 180. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have to kill the OG Shocker.
No. Yeah.
But he just.
But it was good how they said it's kind of like a fun accident all of a sudden.
Yeah. Just because the guy was a Tom Hardy lookalike doesn't mean you had to kill him. That guy looked a lot like Tom Hardy.
He did. He did.
Yeah. Let's see. Next, Peter. He's trying to experiment with some of this alien tech in class. Mm-hmm. Because he got some of like the bank robbers scene and all that.
The little purple
the little purple thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, once again, you're playing with this shit in class. I'm like, you really, probably should not do that.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to, what's that word? Discretion?
Yeah. I feel like that's the word that Tony would use on a time or an occasion or two.
Exactly. And our boy here is just doesn't even give a crap.
No.
As smart as he is, he's like, oh, can I be discreet about this yet? No. Oh, no.
Next, Peter realizes that some of the thugs that he was trying to catch the other day, they're in the school looking for something, and Peter puts a tracking device on them so he can keep up with the new Shocker where he's going. And let's see. Next, Peter, he goes with his classmates to DC for the decathlon. He decides to go to the last moment because, conveniently enough, the villains are going that way too. So not too far away.
How convenient.
Yep. And it's at this point here where he, once he gets to DC, Ned helps him disable the training wheels protocol,
which was hilarious, especially since there was nothing hinted to it earlier, and now it's like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah,
I've been using only some percentage of the suit.
Yeah, a very minuscule amount.
Yeah,
and that suit can do way more than what he knew.
Oh yeah, and that was fun to watch as the scenes progressed.
It was, yeah. Well, and now we get Karen.
Yeah,
Karen the AI. Now, what's interesting about Karen is that she's being voiced by Jennifer Connelly.
Yep.
Of course, Jennifer Connelly is married to Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany was the voice of Jarvis.
I did not realize that connection.
Yeah.
I was only going to highlight that this is technically Jennifer's second role in the Marvel Universe.
What was it first?
She was the original Betsy Ross, actually, in the old Hulk movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was the original
She
Betsy.
was the better Betsy Ross of the two, because dadgum Liv Taylor was just...
Tyler.
I don't give a shit. She was just so ditzy and just not Betsy Ross at all, and oh my gosh.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about that.
It's too late. I already brought it up. My blood's a little angry.
So at this point, overpowered Spider-Man gets help from Karen, and she helps him track down the Shocker. I called him overpowered because at this point he kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, that suit can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything. Like, how many different web combinations that Karen said there was? It was a shitload.
Oh, it was way too many for him to ever actually use.
Yeah.
No.
And all the different functions and all that. I bet that shit could probably go camouflage if he wanted it to.
Actually, I'm not sure why the hell he wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, certain spotters can camouflage themselves. Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's a terrifying thought.
Mm. You're welcome.
But let's see. Vulture, he robs a damage control cargo truck because damage control has these highly secured trucks that are hauling like
Alien tech,
Ultron tech and alien tech and all that savage, and then they're loading it off into like this highly secured base or big ass warehouse.
Yep.
But Vulture, he uses some of his own new tech, which by the way the Tinkerer made. I don't think you get that one past me. Freaking Marvel.
Which of course was his lieutenant on the original construction site crew.
Right, yeah, and he's the guy that's helping him make all the gear. But yeah, the Tinkerer made this device that allows him to like phase through matter, essentially, like vision almost. But yeah, he goes in and he's robbing this cargo train when Spider-Man does battle with the Vulture again. This is Spider-Man versus Vulture Part 2. This fight ends with Spider-Man knocking himself the hell out.
Yep.
And when he wakes up, I guess is it a good thing or a bad thing that these guys don't check what's in the cargo truck?
For Spidey's case, good. Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? They open up the truck and they see Spider-Man in there.
I'd imagine, I don't know, just blindsided because they don't have all the details that they would have kind of like, hey, what the hell are you doing in here?
It'd be like, hey, Fred, did you put this in here? Nah, Bill, I thought you put this in here.
I don't know about you, Fred, but I get off shift soon. So are we going to deal with this?
We'll just write it off, okay?
There you go. There we go. Just beef up the forms a little bit, and they close the doors. Yeah. Maybe that's what happened. That's a deleted scene. Fred and Bill.
Oh shit. But yeah, so Spider-Man, he gets trapped in the cargo truck, which is trapped inside the damage control warehouse, and he's in damage control deep storage is what it's called. And Spider-Man and Karen get to know each other a little bit more, and this is when he actually gives her the name Karen.
Yeah,
and then he realizes that, okay, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, after 35 minutes.
Yeah, of just bullshitting.
Exactly. Yeah, like figuring the webs out, making a hammock, venting about girls. It only took him like 20, 30 minutes to open up himself like a damn purse. But whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he realizes, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And then after 247 tries, Peter and Karen are able to open up the time lock.
Which, good job, it only took you that many, Yeah. Technically, the combination could have gone on for days.
Yeah, it could have gone on for probably, 4, maybe 5 digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's see. So at this point, Peter's trying to race back to the decathlon because he is super late. Yeah. He doesn't make it, but fortunately, Michelle makes the save for her team, and then they win.
Hooray!
Yep.
Everybody's smart.
Pretty much.
Yep.
And let's see. So Peter, he's trying to race back now because Karen told him that the thing, that purple device, is actually like a detonator, or it's a bomb. It's going to explode like at any moment. And so Peter's trying to make it back, trying to call Ned and to warn him. But of course, Ned doesn't have his phone. And then at one point, it pissed me off. Ned does answer the phone, and Peter's trying to warn him. Liz takes the phone from Ned. It's like, Peter, is that you? Peter, where were you? Doing the decathlon? Da, 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 da. And yeah, and once again, I'm like, this would just frustrate me to no end.
It's like, don't be a typical high schooler.
Yeah. Yeah, give Ned back the phone. And then instead she puts the phone in the bin as to go through x-ray and all that. So yeah, Peter never gets to tell Ned that, hey, you are going to die unless you ditch this thing. Yeah. All of you are going to die.
Exactly. Yeah. Women, you are just the death of so many.
Yeah. But let's see. So next they decide to go on, since they're in DC, of course, they go on a little trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the Washington Monument.
Yeah, to the Washington Monument.
Which, why is it a giant?
I was hoping you were not going to ask me that.
Yeah, I mean,
because I thought about that.
Can we just speak historically here for a second and not talk movie or comic?
Maybe this is what Washington wants. Like, in my honor, build a big ass pyre.
I mean, I guess, because that would be more humble than saying, "Please make a giant statue of me," related to like the Sphinx or something. But
at the same time, it doesn't mean anything. Like, what does that like when you see that?
I don't know.
What does that inspire in you when you see it? I don't
know.
Like Lincoln had the right idea.
Like Lincoln just gave himself a giant ass version of himself on a throne. Like, okay, that's cool.
I would definitely want that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can see a good side of it, but that's me putting my information, my knowledge into it, and that's all just, well, I could see, because Washington didn't want a giant monument, flashing how good he was or how awesome he was. It was more like, just do something more humble. Don't make it an image of me. Make it this. But what does this represent?
Exactly.
Why did you choose this giant ass thing? I mean, or this giant ass thing, which is sinking, by the way.
Plot twist. That is what George Washington looked like.
A couple notes. One, our history books are damned good liars. They're already kind of lying to us a little bit on the edge, slightly, whatever.
Slightly, like all of
Well, I'm not trying to scare my listeners here. That I'm trying to warm up the water to them first. But
oh no, the homies need to know. Don't trust the government. They feed us all lies and bullshit.
This is true, and we just got turned off. But at the same time, I want to compliment the artist who made up George Washington's image, because they did a damn good job. Like, that's very presidential.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most people think that he looked like a normal man, with the face and eyes and ears and arms and legs. No, he actually was just like a giant.
All those things.
Yeah, he was just a giant tower.
Could you imagine him? I'm just trying to imagine him like doing all the famous things he did, like chopping down the cherry tree and signing the Declaration. I mean, my gosh, he was the pin for the signing.
Yeah, we've gone on too long about this.
We really have. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's move on.
What are we on?
So they're on the Washington Monument, and they're on this elevator going up. I'm not sure we're up to where. I've never been in the Washington Monument, so
me neither. But it looks like that they had a place you can go up and be like, "Hey, I'm at the top of the monument," because of reasons.
Yeah, there's like 2 windows in that building. Like,
yeah, but not really like please look out windows. More like just like constructed windows for ventilation or something.
Yeah,
or natural light. But that it didn't look like a. And look on your right, and you can see out the whole daggum side.
Yeah.
Look out your right, and you can all share this tiny 1x3 window panel. Yeah. But
anyways, the artifact in Ned's backpack goes off, and fortunately, it wasn't like an explosion go off. It was more like a laser beam. And of course, now all the kids and everybody in the elevator is in imminent danger, and. Except for Michelle, my girl Michelle, she's like, nah, I'm protesting this bullshit.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah. Fight the power.
That's right.
Also, my first question, if I was in the elevator, Ned, what the hell was in your backpack? What did you put in there? You're not getting out willy-nilly like this. I saw that.
That is very true because like in this day and age, has something like that happened, alien artifact or not, you'd be a terrorist.
Exactly.
And it happened on the Washington Monument. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if I was a fellow student in this high school decathlon class, first off, just hit me. Just make fun of me if I'm in a decathlon for something. Me specifically. Because you know me, and I'm not decathlon material. But at the same time, it's like, dude, okay, I know enough to know that purple lights don't come out of backpacks. I don't care where you bought your backpack from. What the hell was that? You blew this shit up. You're the reason this is happening. What? Yeah. I would not have just let that go easy into the night. No.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, in moments like that, it's hard to tell what is what.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Yeah, memories are shitty. Human memories are shit. Like true. Witness accounts, they're almost always shit. Like, remember, there was even this one thing I watched. Like, they were able to talk people into believing that they did something that they did not do. Like, that's how shitty our memories are.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyways,
maybe if Ned had the confidence and the charm to do so, he could have, speech checked his way out of all of that.
But so terrorist Ned and his bomb, they they detonate, and now like they're in imminent danger. Fortunately, like this tower hadn't collapsed on them, but Spider-Man's trying to save them, and he's finally able to get in. There's like a police helicopter there, but he's finally able to get inside the building, and he makes a save at the last moment, saving everybody. And of course, he saves Liz at the very last second. And
of course,
and then of course, Karen, as he's looking at Liz, Karen says, "This is your moment, kiss her." And I was like, that's kind of creepy.
It's like, Karen, what the hell? You don't need to be doing this right now, girl. Yeah. All right, stop reading my heart rate.
Yeah, right. But fortunately, he does not. I feel like that would have been really awkward had he even tried.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you still have a mask on, so what?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just pull it halfway up. I don't know. But anyways, no. The rest of the elevator falls along with Spider-Man, but of course he's fine.
Yep.
He's Spider-Man. Let's see where we're at now. Oh yeah. So next We're back home here. We're back with Toomes, or the Vulture, if you want to call him that. And he's getting low on supplies. He's running low on his supplies, and the Tinkerer is telling them that you need to, we need one more heist or like one more big heist, and we'll be good for a while. And then of course, Tony Stark is moving everything from the Avengers Tower to the new Avengers building in upstate New York. So during that moving process would be the prime time to get a lot of good material.
See, this is another part of the movie where I kind of raised an eyebrow a little bit. Because remember the way he decided to move things. Do we want to walk into that organically, or can I rip it apart?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So some of the most important items in the current Avengers timeline, that being Thor's belt. Was one of them.
Thor's belt of strength, which I never really seen him use, but is a really powerful artifact.
Right. It was more like an Easter egg rather than a call out to the future. Here's your belt.
Yeah, but when Thor has the thing on, his strength is amplified big time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then what else was on there? Captain's new shield.
Yeah, I think there was Captain's old shield actually. I think
okay. The one from Civil War.
Yeah. There was an assload of arc reactors.
Yeah. Just tons of shit.
Yeah, like the arc reactors alone would be worth money.
Yeah. But he decides, let's put all this on one shipment, which, whatever, I don't have a much problem with that. And then Happy's sitting there checking off the list and everything, and that's how we know what's in the shipment. He audibly says it. And then he says they're all going to be flown out on autopilot. You're not even going to bother to get a real-ass pilot with real-ass guards in there. Yeah. No, of course not. This is the most important shit. We can rely on a computer for this because I'm Tony Stark.
I feel like you could get some, or maybe Tony Stark don't want to do this. I will say you can just get some Iron Man suits to guard it. But seriously, I guess after Ultron, he doesn't want any more automated bots.
But he already used something relatable to that, you know?
Well, no, I think he controlled that remote control in this movie, though.
Why couldn't he do that for this one, too? He did that one while you... Remember, it was at the party. Yeah, so he couldn't have done that? I mean, come on.
I mean, who knows?
Because then, of course, it's like, oh, let me set myself up here for a vulnerability. Let me put a big-ass hole in my Death Star. Okay, that's cool. You know?
Well, they put it in stealth mode, Kevin.
Oh. I'm sorry, they put it in stealth mode.
They put it in stealth mode.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. But, let's see.
I digress.
Yeah. Where are we at here?
Yeah.
Almost lost my damn place. Oh, yeah, here we go. And now also Peter's in detention. Because, he skipped out in the decathlon. I assume that's probably why. Like, he just went doing whatever. Mm. And, he's in detention now. And Cap made a video about detention.
Of course, yeah.
And like, I don't care how many times they go back to this shtick. It makes me laugh every time.
It does, especially the way Chris Evans carries Cap. It's so so damn good.
It's so great. Like,
you guys gonna watch this video now? I mean, he's technically an enemy of the state or whatnot, but here you're still gonna watch it.
Oh, it's great.
I can't remember. Did that happen at this point or earlier in the gym?
Earlier in the gym.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
I think this guy's a war criminal or whatever, but yeah.
And which comedian was that again?
That's Hannibal Buress.
Nah.
Right. He's really funny.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah. As he's in detention, he just gets up and walks out because because Hannibal's character just didn't do anything. It's like, hey, where you going? Stop. Don't go. Oh. And then of course this again, Michelle is in there, and then Hannibal goes, why are you in here? You don't even have detention. And then of course she gives some smart aleck reply like, I'd like to see people
it was something like I like to see people suffering.
Yeah, but I don't think she used the word suffering, but implied it.
Yeah,
and then she showed a picture that she drew of him. And, but no, that just leaves more credence that she really is crushing hard on Peter because here she is in detention, and Peter's the only other one in there, and she doesn't have to be there.
Yep.
Yeah. But let's see.
Movie signs.
But I'm not gonna lie though, like my first viewing of this movie, I didn't know what to think of.
I didn't know what to think of her either.
Like other than like a weird comic relief type character.
Yeah, she actually and bear with me here. She actually gave the movie more value to the idea of watching it again. Yeah, you know, because then you can see like the fun signs, the cutesy little things.
All the shit that you didn't see the first time through. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and she was definitely on that list. Like, right. Oh, here's a hard sign that she's into some Peter Parker. She wants for some of that. Yeah,
it's the same thing with Flash Thompson. Yeah,
exactly. He walks into detention. Am I late? Is Peter gone? Shit. I mean, whatever. I don't have detention.
Yeah. It's like, geez, Peter, you're such a loser. I bet you're not even going to go to homecoming with anyone, are you?
Did you see my trophy, Peter? You piece of shit. Look at my trophy. Please.
Oh, man. It's too easy.
It really is. Freaking wannabe hipster dadgum Flash Thompson. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Actual Flash Thompson would have murdered movie Flash Thompson.
Oh yeah,
yeah, hard. Yeah. Like, wait, this isn't me.
Yeah. Next up, we get Spider-Man. He quote unquote interrogates Aaron, aka the proud Aaron Davis. That is. And so now we can go and break this whole thing down. So he goes to see Aaron Davis again, aka Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. And he goes to see him because, like, maybe he knows something about where these guys get their supplies from, or where they're going, or what they're doing. and he goes in with interrogation mode, which puts him in like a Batman voice, but it doesn't work.
Right.
Peter's not good at this part of the job yet, and it's a really fun scene here with Donald Glover, and he breaks it down for him, and eventually he tells Peter, like, look, they're going to be on the ferry at this time and at this date, or blah blah blah, and now what's really good here is just like all the little jewels and Easter eggs that they drop, because Aaron Davis is it's like the ultimate version of Prowler, meaning from the Ultimate Universe. And now in the Ultimate Universe, Prowler is also the uncle of Miles Morales, and even in the movie here, he drops a line about his nephew, living in the area that he wants to protect him. So I mean, unless he has another nephew, this kind of confirms that Miles Morales is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in some capacity.
Yep, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be really freaking cool. I mean, who knows? He could be in whatever the sequel is. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Yep. But no, so I thought that was all really good stuff. I mean, they could bring Aaron Davis back as the Prowler to be a villain. They could bring in Miles Morales. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was a pretty good scene there. That gave us a lot of cool stuff.
Yep.
Let's see. Next up, Spider-Man. He tracks down Toomes and his crew on the ferry, and also this is the first time that we see Scorpion as well.
Right, which was really kind of well hidden and well done.
Yeah,
because we get like the aerial view, and that's the first time we see him, and it's like, oh,
yeah. The only way that I knew is that I recognized that name because it's really, really kind of. Because every time I hear his name, I think McDonald, like old McDonald. His name is Matt Gargan.
Yep.
Yeah, and every time I hear that name, I just think, old McDonald.
He's McGargling, that McPatty.
Yeah.
Wait, shit, McMuffin? Yeah, that's a McDonald's sandwich.
Sure.
McDouble. There you go. That's a Mc. Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's.
But yeah, so this is the first time that we see Matt Gargan, aka this Scorpion. And I thought that was really cool too. Also, this guy's in Better Call Saul. This is my second Better Call Saul mention in this podcast.
I feel like you're low-key advertising right now.
Maybe I am. You never know unless you watch Better Call Saul on AMC.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for setting him up.
Anyways, so next we get a really cool scene here with Spider-Man versus the Vulture Part 3.
Yeah.
The FBI comes out of nowhere to arrest Peter, but then Vulture technically kind of saves the day as he emerges. He destroys that van because I guess the Vulture suit is inside the van. Mm-hmm. He goes into the van and then like the Vulture just kind of explodes from the van, rips himself apart from the van, and he and Spider-Man do battle again. So this is Part 3. Peter versus Vulture Part 3. And once again, it's still entertaining as all hell, seeing these two go at it a little bit here. And yeah, so eventually the ferry gets split in half. And yeah.
They love these scenes.
They do. Yep. And Spidey, he's trying his best to hold it together. He does some really cool stuff here with his webbing, trying to hold it together, and it works for all of 6 seconds.
Yep.
And then it starts to break, and the guy goes, "Yeah, Spider-Man saved us," and then
nope.
Yeah, not at all. And then at this point, this is where we get the iconic scene where he's trying his best to hold the two ends together. That's like the most serious pec workout you can do.
Oh yeah,
because essentially he's trying to do like a fly, but there are no reps done that day.
Nope, not even one.
Not even one. But fortunately for him, Iron Man comes along, and makes the save.
Yep,
and
he was spotting him.
Yep. No, that's one of those spots where like you do the actual rep before the person doing the workout.
Yep.
But yeah, Iron Man comes in and saves the day, and the same guy that praised Spider-Man now praises Iron Man.
Which must suck for Spidey.
It must. Yeah. It must. But now there's this pretty big talk here between Peter and Tony. And I have mixed feelings about this talk. I mostly really like it, but there's some things where I'm like,
It was appropriate that Tony was actually physically there, which is cool.
Yeah. It was interesting also how they made Robert look taller than Tom.
Yeah,
because these two are like basically the same height.
Yeah, movie magic.
Yep.
Someone go ask Tom Cruise about that.
But no, they have a really interesting talk here. Tony's pissed because apparently at this point Tony says that he listened to Peter and he got the FBI involved, which is why they were on the ferry.
Which does explain the question from earlier, like who's in between our boy Spidey and the Avengers?
Partially.
The FBI kind of fits the bill there.
I mean, if you hop on that shit immediately, then they don't rob the damage control cargo truck. I mean, but what do I know?
No, you're right. It was good for Spidey to jump in when he did.
Yeah. For sure though, if he hadn't been on the ferry, then who knows? Maybe everybody would have died.
That's true, because he did buy time.
Yeah, he bought. Well, Iron Man wasn't going to come, I don't think, not until the ferry split in half.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe if the FBI just tried to arrest Matt Gargan and Adrian Toomes, then maybe
the ferry would never have broken in half.
Or maybe they would have failed in their attempt, and he would have got the Vulture suit and just started killing all of them.
True.
I mean, we'll never know, but it's just something to think about for sure.
Killing all of them being the FBI agents. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess who knows? But at this point, Tony, he's kind of had it with Peter, so he asked for the suit back from Peter.
Which blows.
Yep.
Goodbye, Karen.
Yep. And Peter says, "But I'm nothing without this suit." And Tony replies, "If you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve it."
Which is actually a fitting phrase coming from our boy Tony. Thinking about
it's fitting, but it's also a little hypocritical.
Oh no, it's super hypocritical. Don't get me wrong. There's no one else who knows the power of a power suit better than Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Yeah.
Just look at Iron Man 3 and that whole fiasco.
Technically, I don't even think Tony wants to look at Iron Man 3 because he completely just made that whole movie this horrible backwash. Just like, what is that? I don't remember blowing up my suits. What are you talking about?
Yeah, for him, Iron Man 3 has to be like that crazy ex-girlfriend that you don't want anyone to. You want to forget about completely. Like, you don't want your friends bringing her up ever again. Like, you just want to put that away and pretend it never happened.
Kind of like, hey, remember when you dated that really big nose girl who had bad breath?
Nope, don't know what you're talking about. Stop, shut up.
She had cross eyes.
That's exactly what it's like. Oh man, that poor girl, whoever it is you just described, that is hideous.
Oh no, she's completely fictional. Yeah,
okay.
I made that up on the spot. But yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, so he gets his suit taken away from him.
Dun dun dun.
And now at this point, Peter's just kind of going about doing his normal everyday life stuff now. He's bummed at first, but then he kind of gets into it, starts getting more active in school again. He's still in detention. But he runs into...
How much detention do you have to go through because you skipped a smart kid meeting?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what is that?
Yeah. He runs into Liz... And, they have a little talk, and then after getting like all the signs, all the flashing red signs, he finally awkwardly asks her out to homecoming, and she says yes. And we're all happy for our boy Peter, because
Flash Thompson's around the corner with a bunch of flowers and the trophy in the other hand. Did you ask? Did you ask her? Yeah, because I was gonna ask her. I love this. Someone mail Marvel. Someone email them some shit for us.
Yes.
There's a Marvel executive listening right now. These guys have some ideas.
We got a perfect idea for a Spider-Man sequel.
I know, right?
But yeah, he gets the date, and let's see. So next up, we get like a little montage here of him getting ready for the big date. Aunt May, she's showing him how to, give him a couple moves, and they're both Googling how to put on the tie. I thought that was, even though it was really brief, I thought that was really really.
It was good. It brought Peter back down to earth. You know, kind of
well, not only that, but also it goes to show just what Peter has and what Peter doesn't have in his life. Because, like, for the most of the movie, we were looking at him through the lens of his superpowers and his cool suit,
the Spider-Man,
right? Yeah. But we haven't been looking a lot at Peter Parker and the fact that, you know, this young man lost his parents. And he lost his Uncle Ben, who was like a father to him. And he doesn't even have anyone to show him how to tie a tie.
Right.
You know, they have to go to Google to figure that shit out.
Right. Which Google has some crazy ass knots.
Well, I bet, yeah. Like the freaking, the double Windsor.
The double Windsor, the full Windsor, because apparently those are separate.
Yeah.
I also learned how to tie a bow tie because of Google.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that I still can't do that.
No, I couldn't do it right here in front of you. I'd have to pull the picture up. But
no, I thought that was just a really good thing to see. And also, we haven't talked about her a lot, but Aunt May in this movie, I thought that she was really good.
Yeah.
At first, I was a little taken aback in Civil War by Aunt May, just because what's her name, Marissa Tomei, or is it Marissa or Melissa?
Give me a second. We will have verification. Marissa.
Yeah. Just because, like they mentioned all throughout in Civil War and in here, she's by far the most attractive Aunt May. No disrespect to the previous Aunt Mays,
right? That has ever graced the silver screen,
right? Yeah. Like almost distractingly so. Like that's Aunt May.
Yeah. I am curious, actually. Give me a second here. Because I remember someone making a comment about this, and I wanted to look it up. Yep, that was the woman from My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
I did not recognize that the first viewing of it.
Yeah, she was in...
But someone... Not someone. I read it somewhere, probably on like a Facebook wall post or something stupid like that. And all of a sudden, like, wires... synapses in my head were just like flaring up and no, they're reaching, they couldn't touch yet. Oh, they finally touched. What? Yeah.
But no, she really helps ground this movie and really, you know, helps Peter feel like a more human person, you know. And I thought that was a really good touch for the movie. But let's see. Next thing we get here is she's dropping Peter off at Liz's place. And, you know, Peter's all dressed up, ready to meet his date. And he knocks on the door, and the door opens.
Of course. I loved this whole sequence.
I was going to ask, what did you think?
I loved it so much. Because this is just some creative ass storytelling.
It is.
All right?
Yeah. Like canon be damned. This was great storytelling.
Great. Okay. I'm not dogging on Marvel, so please bear with me again. But there are very, very few times when Marvel can orchestrate an organic scene as well as they have this one. Okay?
Yeah.
Just because so many times there's like this scripted play-by-play order. The format. We've made fun of it and talked about it and digested this so many times in the past. This scene right here was like the top-notch ingredient in the middle of this movie. Just like some fresh, non-format bullshit that they finally gave us. And it was great watching this. Freaking Michael Keaton was great. Tom was great. I mean, you can't write that shit as a bad writer. You just can't.
No, this was
so well done.
Yeah, this was expertly well done.
Oh yeah.
Not just from a writing standpoint, but also from like from the director's standpoint as well. John Watts. The way that this was shot was just so expertly done, because I felt like a lesser director would have like a score queuing up when Peter's knocking on the door, and they would linger longer on this.
Like they try to ham it up too much.
Exactly. And they give us time to think about, oh wait, there's somebody big on the other side of this door. But no, the way that he plays it up is just like it's just a normal scene.
It was a fresh surprise.
And and it took everybody by surprise. I don't give a damn. I don't think anyone saw this shit.
My mouth fell open. I'm not sure about yours because we didn't watch this one together, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I was thoroughly impressed with this scene. Like, cause like, you know, when we see the door open and you know, we see that is Adrian Toomes, we're all taken about like, oh shit. Yeah. And let me tell you how clever this is. Even if you look on like the IMDb, Liz's last name is Allen while his last name is Toomes.
Yep.
So even then, you know, you don't, there's no way you can put it together even if you try to spoil yourself by going to IMDb. Because they have different last names for whatever reason.
Yeah, which I don't understand that right now. That's all their family history, which isn't necessary. It isn't
necessary, but this was just a really fun scene here. Because now we're all in the same shoes as Peter Parker. And we're all like, oh shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what the fun thing is? The great thing? They didn't know it even yet.
Yeah.
Like, Peter was all about that. Like, oh, shit. This is my arch nemesis house. Right. I am in the house of my arch nemesis. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm taking out his daughter. Mm-hmm. You know, and he's just treating it like a normal father meets date.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, how's it going? Come on in. Yeah, she's just about ready.
You look kind of nervous. Yeah, you want to drink whiskey, scotch? Yeah. Bourbon.
Yeah. I love this whole scene, man. This was some great bullshit. It was so good.
All of this was really great because, of course, they combined the teenage son meets the father of the daughter for the first time. You know, they combined that along with the drama of, you know, Peter realizing that he's in quite the conundrum right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, what do you do? Like, man, because Peter's got to be thinking, I really want to get laid, but I need to stop this guy.
Yeah. Poor Peter, man.
Yeah.
He's just not catching the break. Like, ooh-wee, I get to be Peter Parker tonight. Oh, shit. Nope, there might be a Spider-Man necessary moment here. Yeah.
And then, like, as good as this scene is, it just gets better because, to me, what was probably my favorite scene in the movie is the car scene.
Yes, that was the best.
This was such a good scene.
I don't care who says what. This scene, go on and step out, honey. I'm gonna just sit here with Peter.
Oh, I like even before that
point,
have the
though. Dad talk.
Yeah.
You know, leading up to it was great too. Like the whole thing to me was the scene.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just saying one line.
Yeah. When you see everything start to click for Adrian, that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this kid.
Yeah.
Like we see him start to get it, like you start to tense up for Peter.
Exactly. It was so good.
Yeah. And at this point you're just like, oh shit, like what do you do if you're Peter, you know?
Like at this point, like both hands that are necessary or important in this scene, being Peter Parker's and our boy Vulture's hands, both of them are revealing to each other while keeping it a secret from freaking Liz the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man, it's so awkward.
I mean, it's awkward and it's great. All
oh no, it's super great. Yeah. It's just, oh man.
And then like just Michael Keaton's performance here at this point is just through the roof.
Spot on, dude.
Yeah, because he's playing everything like perfectly well. Like he's playing the villain and he's playing a loving father and he's playing someone who's discovered something big all at the same time. And then it takes like really good acting chops to pull this all off together subsequently.
There are very few dudes who can play a dude as a dude who's acting as another dude.
Oh yeah. But once they get to the actual homecoming dance and he tells Liz to step out, we're gonna have the whole, you know,
the dad talk.
Yeah, the dad talk. Yeah. And then Liz says something. I don't even think she knows how prolific this is, but she goes, "Don't let him intimidate you."
It was too fitting. Like, okay, Liz, you don't know what the hell you're saying. Right. Just go inside. Give me some punch ready. I'm gonna need some punch. Give me 2 punches ready.
And then it gets even more intense because then they just lay all the cards on the table. Yeah. Like, look.
Pulls a gun out and everything.
Yeah. You're like, I know who you are. You know who I am. If you try to interfere with my plans one more time, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill everyone you love, everyone you've ever cared about. And then he ends it with saying, I go in there, show my daughter a good time, but not too good of a time.
I loved that. Everything about this moment was so damn good.
It was.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I was,
even the second time viewing it, it still had you on the edge of my seat. Like, oh man, come on, just let me see it. Yeah,
it was really good. Like I'm still thoroughly impressed with that reveal, and then with how they played the reveal afterwards. Like,
overall, one of the best scenes from a collective standpoint of all the Marvel movies. You know, like if we had a podcast about that, this would come up as one of the top ones for me. Easy.
Yeah, shocking moments. Yeah, this is definitely one. Yeah. Shocking / best. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it was both shocking and best.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so after this, Peter, he's like visibly shaken up, and he goes into the prom and. He has to ditch Liz, man. You know, that's something about Spider-Man. He's never able to get the girl. Think about it. In the original Spider-Man trilogy, like at the end of the first one, he has to tell Mary Jane, "I'm sorry, but I can't be with you." Then he walks away. And the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, or there's only 2 of them, so it's not a trilogy.
Amazing Spider-Man duo,
yeah, I guess. Gwen Stacy dies hard. He doesn't get to keep that girl. And here,
by Emma Stone.
Yeah, and. You know, the original Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3 was Bryce Dallas Howard, the chick from Jurassic World.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
She was a good-looking Gwen Stacy, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So, like at this point, poor Parker, like he never gets to keep the girl, you know. But he does what he knows he has to do, and I think that's just a big part of Spider-Man in general, like being able to make those heavy and hard decisions. Because Spider-Man is like he wants to be a family-oriented person. He wants to be, because Spider-Man does have a big heart, but
through the quirky nerdiness and through the awkwardness and the funny moments and through his sense of humor, even he's always going to be a hero.
Exactly,
and that's what's happening now.
Yeah. And so he does what he knows he has to do, and he doesn't give an explanation because he can't. I mean, what could you say?
Hey, Liz, sorry, I gotta go. I gotta ditch you here because I need to go beat the shit out of your dad.
Right. He does the best thing he can do. He doesn't lie, but he doesn't tell her what's really going on. He just says, look, you don't deserve this. I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I mean, what else can you do?
No, that was smooth for what it was. You know?
I mean, as smooth as it could be. Yeah,
basically.
He goes then and he gets his old ugly ass Spider-Man suit,
which I loved the way he hid that because no one's gonna look there because they can't. They can't
look
just
there.
Whoosh,
right.
Lifts the locker like it was the daggum foot of a bed.
Right. I just hope that those school security cameras aren't rolling.
No, that's a good point. Shit. That's the loophole here. Like, you know, Joe, the nightly security guard over at the school, is just like, wait a minute. What the shit? He goes and just like, he gets a little crank and lifts it up. He goes, oh my gosh.
Jim, come and look at this shit.
Joe and Jim, they're the janitor. they're the janitor friends. That sounds like a cartoon that needs to happen. Joe and Jim. The high school janitors.
Moving on. So he gets his old Spider-Man suit on and he goes outside and he's on his way to find and confront Vulture when he gets the shit punched out of him by Shocker 2.0.
Yep.
Shocker being played primarily by Bokeem Woodbine, a really great actor. He's done a lot of stuff. Has a super long catalog.
Yeah, I was about to say he does.
Yeah, and the thing about Bokeem here is that he's one of those actors that doesn't seem to visibly age. So he looked the same in 1997 as he does here in 2017.
He's done some cool shit. Man.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking up his list right now. What all has this man been?
Oh, he's got a long ass catalog.
He was in Strapped, the '93 movie. Oh man,
yeah. I think it was also in Dead Presidents. That's one of my favorite heist movies. That was
Almost Heroes. That was a great Chris Farley.
Oh yeah. Who was in that? And I forgot. Yeah.
My gosh. And what I like about this guy, he's not really stereotyped at all. Like he has a wide range of roles he can be in. Yeah. Here he's playing a great henchman villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I do wish that maybe they found a way to make him just a little bit more, I guess, dressed up, Because
he's not really in Shocker costume.
He just has one Shocker gauntlet, essentially.
Yeah, which we're not asking for the comic book costume, because that was weird and a little ridiculous. It looked like basically upholstery.
What they gave us, notice the sleeves that he wore.
Right, and that's good.
Yeah, it was like the yellow insulated fabric that resembles kind of what the Shocker would wear.
Right.
But yeah, I guess just they can just a little bit more from him and on him, that would have been a really nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they do battle for a little bit, and then Ned makes the save with the web shooter, and then Parker's able to take down this guy pretty easy after that.
Freaking Ned! I'm already laughing about a scene that's coming up here.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Yep. So Spotty he steals Flash Thompson's car.
Appropriate.
Yep, and then wrecks the shit out of it because he cannot drive.
Nope. He pretty quickly does it too, if I recall. Yeah.
It doesn't take too much time.
It doesn't take long.
No. The thing's pretty much told by the time he reaches his destination. He gets there thanks to the cool tracking of Ned, the guy in the chair. Yep. And now, once Peter gets to this warehouse where the Vulture's at, we go back to Ned, and Ned is caught in this classroom,
the computer lab.
The computer lab, and the teacher, of course, asks him, "What are you doing?" And Ned, being the bro of bros, he takes some time, and he looks at it and goes, "I was looking at porn."
Yep. I mean, what's the alternative, people? Like, right. he told her... I guess he could have made up some other bullshit, like, I was on Facebook, but...
she would be like, you have your phone.
That too.
But, I mean, I think that was just the... I think that was the best response in this case. I think that this was genuinely the best possible thing he could say right now.
Best? Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Nah, I think it's the best. I mean, because he has this look on his face that says, I've been caught red-handed.
Right.
You can't dress that up,
right,
with something flowery.
Like, I was on Facebook, and I was also checking my email.
Yeah, I was doing research on
colleges.
And plus, the conversation is also just a lot shorter if you say, I was looking at porn.
Right. Like, she didn't know how to respond to that. Like, my thought, you're at a homecoming dance. You just couldn't wait, buddy? You couldn't go back home first?
My thought would be, I guess your date ditched you, huh?
Yeah. At that point, it would be like, are your hands clean? Yeah? All right, come here, son.
All right.
Come here. We're going to get you some punch. Come here.
Let's clear that browser history.
We would have been the pro supervisors. But my first question, literally, let's go wash your hands. Did you?
Yep.
Yeah? Did you?
Even if you did, let's wash them anyway.
Let's wash them anyways. I'd feel better about it. And then we're going to get some Lysol, come back here, clear the browser history, and clean off that keyboard.
Yeah.
All right. And the chair. And then Ned's just like, okay.
Yeah, just go with it, Ned. Let's see. Peter's able to track down the Vulture to this abandoned warehouse because, of course, they're always in damn abandoned warehouses.
Of course. Shoot, Tobey Maguire was, yeah. He had a warehouse following him.
Yeah, so did Tom.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, shit. Damn.
He said Toby, I think.
Yeah, no, Toby against Doc Ock, like the warehouse, like
yeah.
So
that's another kind of callback.
yeah. Whether they wanted to serve that purpose, I don't know, but I could see someone in the back saying it worked before. Let's do it again. Yeah.
The original idea for Spider-Man 4 was going to be to have the Vulture in it. And I hated the idea then too, but I think it would have been handled poorly.
Yeah,
had it happened.
Yeah,
But yeah. Anyways, Spider-Man tracks him down, and they have a little talk here. And of course, Adrian, he's just stalling, waiting for his suit to reboot or upgrade or whatever. And but yeah, he's just talking. Oh, Peter, you here? Blah blah blah. And then he summons the suit, and I don't know how this thing is remote control the way that it is, because I don't see Adrian with any kind of controller or anything in his hand. But it takes out all the columns, and the building collapses and falls on Peter as Vulture escapes and makes his way to that Stark cargo plane. And now at this point, Peter is trapped underneath like all this rubble. And this was a very well done scene right here, I thought, because I feel like in a lot of cases, they don't make us feel like the hero's in danger when the building falls on them. But right here, they make us feel like he's in danger.
Right.
It's a really claustrophobic scene here because it's really close up, and like the way that Tom Holland begins panting makes you feel like you can't breathe.
Right.
And
they do a great job of setting it up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, he can't move. The only thing that would have made this scene better is when he looked into he looked into a puddle and he saw like he was able to see like half of his face and half of the Spider-Man face. The only thing that would have made this better is if they didn't overlay it with Tony Stark saying, "If you."
The whole like. If you need the suit, then you're not ready for it.
Yeah, then you don't deserve it. Yeah. I think they could have kept that out completely, because that just insinuates that the audience doesn't get what's happening.
Right. And it's kind of spoon feeding them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which not everybody needs.
You're right. Yeah. We didn't need to be spoon fed that. But that part aside, this was a really good scene. He's able to muster the strength to lift up, the rubble and debris.
Huge ass concrete thing. Yeah.
And get it off of him, and then he goes after the Vulture, and let's see. So the Vulture finally gets the high altitude vacuum seal that Tinker has been going on and on about the entire movie.
Yep.
And he's able to successfully sneak onto that cargo plane. Pretty easily. And that's when we see like all the shit that's on that plane. Like there's just tons of precious cargo, tons of arc reactors, just tons of even Iron Man. Looks like Iron Man's suits. He puts up like a helmet, and he's able to just get whatever the hell he wants. Of course, Spider-Man interferes. Fight Part 4, Part 1 breaks out.
That's true. Part 4 had like a 2-part episode.
Yeah, it was a 2-part. Yeah.
I had to interpret what you were saying.
Yeah. And the plane somehow or another it catches fire and it's going down. Yep. And they take out like what's that thing at the fair that they took down? Like it has a tower and it spins.
The Ferris wheel?
No. You remember, as the plane was coming down, they clipped it, and then that building fell.
Yeah. What? It's like a spinning ride, right?
Yeah. But it's like all encapsulated, so like they're not. No one's on the outside, but it's all.
Yeah. They're all on the inside. It's supposed to make you dizzy, kind of like the gravity thing going on.
Right. Now that thing was spinning when they hit it, which leads me to believe that there could have been people in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like all of a sudden, you ruined that ride and probably a few lives.
Yeah. But
what is that called?
I forget what that's called. But no, the plane crashes, and as it crashes, fortunately, no lives are lost. Well,
hopefully,
yeah. Spider-Man and Vulture are still alive. We'll leave it at that.
Right. The storytelling people are here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it crashes hard. But then after this, the fight continues, and this is they say the best for last. This is the best fight that they have in the movie. So, fight Part 4, Part 2.
Yep.
The fight continues here, and it's really well done how they have this fight, because they're playing to their strengths. It's not just like a bunch of punches back and forth.
Right,
and all that. They're playing to their strengths. Spider-Man's using his webbing to try to get a hold of him,
and Vulture's up in the air trying to evade,
and he uses his claws to even attack him at one point.
Yep,
like the talons on the feet of the suit.
Yeah,
which is really cool to do. And then like even when the suit is busted up, it still looks menacing.
It does, yeah. Especially in this setting here with like the fire debris all on the sand. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry, but I don't care what anyone says. This is the best looking Vulture suit I've ever seen.
Yeah, way better than Old Man in green jumpsuit with fur around the collar.
That was so corny.
Yeah. And plus, I'm just gonna go ahead and re-highlight this. In episodes past, I mentioned this before, but The origin story of this Vulture is even better than the OG Vulture origin.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
The original one, long story short, Vulture was a co-partner with another dude. His friend handled the business side, and Vulture handled the tech side. He invented this wing suit, which would allow him to fly. It just looked like wings, but essentially it was a fancy-ass jetpack. His friend was swindling him. Long story short, Vulture gets pissed, becomes Vulture, goes after friend, becomes petty crown. Just a petty criminal. And it's... this story is so much cooler.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that story's been retconned since then. At least I hope so. But even
Michael Keaton needs to be the new permanent one. Someone call Marvel. Again, for so many things. We have a list.
But no, this is a really good interpretation of Vulture. But I also love how the fight ends. It's not necessarily that Peter takes him down.
Right.
If anything, Vulture, he's getting away, and Peter's trying to tell Vulture that your wings they're going to explode. They're on fire. Vulture's not listening, not having any of it. And I was afraid that they were going to kill him off here.
That's classic Marvel fashion.
Because they definitely could have killed him off here. But again, another surprise is, his wings do explode, but he lives.
Yep.
Peter's able to save him from the fire, and he whelps him up for Happy and the crew to take care of. And so that was I thought it was a really, really fun fight here. Also, what did you make anything of once Peter saved Vulture from the fire? How they were just kind of laying on the beach next to each other, like worn out.
I see that as a seed, honestly, because there's definitely fertile ground there. Continuous seed, pun intended. For a future Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Michael Keaton potentially working together. And this could be a callback scene one of them makes in reference in the middle of that second movie, middle of that sequel. At this moment, though, for us as an audience to the movie, presently watching it, I just kind of thought of it more as like they're both, symbolically realizing that they're on equal footing.
Yeah.
That it was like, all right, well, you're a tough bastard. You're a tough bastard, Mm-hmm. Yeah. But both of them at the same time showing exhaustion and near defeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would have been great, but what it would also take away from the movie would be as if in that moment Vulture goes, you know what? You can bang my daughter.
Tom reaches over. Give me a fist bump. Yeah, I would have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
You're right, though. That would have ruined it a little bit.
Yeah.
You've earned the right. Yeah. Use a condom.
Yeah, I was about to say, use protection. Oh, shit.
Man.
Next, Peter's back at school. He sees Peter sees Liz, and he tries to apologize to her. And Liz has a good point. What are you apologizing for this time? And but
which is classic Peter Parker fashion again.
Yeah. And also, what do you say to someone who's been through what she's been through?
I'm the reason your dad's in jail.
Yep. I'm the reason your dad is in jail. I'm the one who left you at the decathlon. I'm the one who left you at homecoming. I'm the source of all your problems, Liz.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, if you ever became a villain in the future, I would understand it.
I understand.
Like, I'm cool with this.
Right. I don't need to ask you a motive. I won't ask you, Liz, why are you doing this? No, I already know.
Like, I don't hope for it, but I do expect it to be a potential hazard for myself, and I understand it. And I hope you understand that I still gotta kick your ass. And potentially treat you like the future Black Cat.
Oh, man. Let's see. So, next up. And, it's unfortunate. It's a sad ending for Liz, because I don't think we're going to see her again. She's going to Oregon.
I think we're done with Liz, because they've opened the door here to something else, which we'll get into.
Yeah. And also, some of the stuff I forgot to mention. So once Peter got that homecoming date for Liz, I had written in my notes that Peter, he gives hope to all those short guys out there. You're the real MVP there, Peter.
I did not think about that, but you're right. Yeah.
And also Zendaya, or the lady that plays Michelle.
Yeah,
she's also taller than Tom Holland.
Oh my gosh! I think they played that down in the movie, though. I'm pretty sure
they never mentioned the height differences.
No, but I can remember them standing side by side in the movie, and I think they're close to the same height, or playing it up to movie magic that she's a little shorter.
If they show her as shorter, that's definitely movie magic.
Right. She is actually taller.
Yeah, she is taller.
Let's see what the technical numbers are. She is. They don't give it to me on this page for some reason.
I think she's 5'9".
5'10".
Oh,
actually,
5'10".
Yeah. Whereas our boy is only something. He's 5'8". Shit, he's my height. Yeah. Dang. Damn.
Yep.
Poor Tom.
Yep. But let's see. So we go to like a little. What kind of team is this they're in? Like the Decathlon? What do you call this group?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. They're in the Smart People's Club.
Exactly. And, that's what we've been calling it all night. They're just Smart People's Club.
Right. And since Michelle was the one that led their team to victory for the Decathlon, she's going to be like the team leader, I guess. And and then at this point, Michelle reveals that her friends call her MJ. And then you hear like all the gasp in the audience. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that was a huge surprise. It was well done. Yeah.
And then there's some people who are trying to say, no, she's not going to represent Mary Jane. It's a different character. I'm like, you bullshitting yourself.
I know. No, guys. Guys, they just announced it. It's done.
Yeah. There's nothing to do about this, guys. Let's just move on. This is not Kristen Dunst here.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you think about this reveal?
I thought it was great. Like Marvel movie fashion, in many cases it doesn't make sense. Whereas they force and wedge a dadgum son of a dick romance down our throats.
Right.
Imagery aside, but now it makes sense because Peter Parker was all about that. I gotta be the hero and a good boyfriend. And, find a way to actually do my job all at the same time, all in the same lifespan. Whereas here in this movie, they're finally giving us room for that kind of story to come out, Yeah. And her being MJ, because of their earlier chemistry that was so well played by both of the actors, I can see it being great, dude.
Yeah.
In fact, in my mind, I don't think I've shared this with you yet, but I can already envision how they're going to handle Spider-Man 2 with Tom Holland. I'm hoping that they play it up to be almost like a dual romance, like a love triangle problem with our boy Tom, whereas he's getting to know our girl Michelle, aka MJ, and at the same time, this new villainess is coming out who's like kind of a flirty villain, aka Black Cat. I don't see that being the whole premise of the movie. Maybe there's a little something else going up on the side too, but still,
I feel like that'd be a little too much romance.
True. Yeah. But we also still have Scorpion to play with, not to reveal the end of the podcast. Yeah. But, yeah. Either way, just a thought I had.
Yeah. No, I too also like the reveal. And I know that some of your homies are listening like, what the hell, Q? You're the one that's supposed to stick up for comic book canon and continuity. Well, guys, only if I don't like it.
Right. In this case, it plays to the story super well.
It does. Okay? And also, Michelle was just a really fun and likable character. And I want to see more what they do with this character in the future. Let's see. So next up, Peter goes to the Avengers HQ. Tony shows Peter his new suit, the same suit that he's wearing in Infinity War. So don't worry, people. He may reject it here, but obviously he eventually puts it on.
Exactly. He eventually comes back and says, "Okay, I kind of need this.
I kind of need that. Yeah. That big ass, giant ass, swole ass purple guy means business."
Right? Yeah. Pimp slapping people to the side.
But in the act of maturity, he tells Tony that, you know what? No, I want to stick to the little guy stuff right now. But this scene right here, like the whole lead up about Tony introducing Peter to a new suit, and then there's a press conference out here. It reeked of Civil War. Now, not the movie, but like the actual story, the actual comic book,
right?
Of the part where not only does actually, if you read the Civil War, the Spider-Man edition, which I forgot I have that, but I do.
You do.
Because this is where this information is coming from. If you read that, you see where Spider-Man gets the suit, the Iron Spider suit, and then you also see where Tony's talking Peter Parker into doing the press conference, and then you see the entire press conference play out when he unmasks himself and reveals himself to be Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and all that.
And this isn't quite when Tony Stark had his 2 hired thugs come out and try to beat up old Pete at this point, because he was playing the more villainous part in there. Like, they weren't brave enough to show in the actual movie, right? That's that part.
Yeah, that's
the part. Yeah, that's the part. That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm trying to remember who it was. It was jeez, I forget what this guy. Anyways, I forget who the villain was. Titanium Man. I think that was his name. Yeah. But cool. No. Anyways, this scene just really reminded me of like the Civil War graphic novels. Except the part where Peter turns it down,
and Robert messes around with Happy and Pepper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and in a surprise cameo, Gwyneth Paltrow shows up. Pepper Potts. Didn't expect to see her in the movie, honestly.
No, me neither.
Don't know why she did to be. I mean, I'm not dissing her or anything like that at all. It's just like, like you okay? Yeah, sure.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, I guess if Chris Evans can show up in like these, I mean, because the cameos that he made, they weren't, detrimental to the movie.
Right.
But they did help enhance my viewing experience.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of the same thing here. Abby's been carrying around a wedding ring since like Iron Man 1, apparently.
Yeah. And I remember he did that, and it was so fun thinking of the math in the middle of the first viewing when it was like, I've been carrying this ring around for so many years. It's like, damn, okay, that's when he had it, yeah. And then, of course, the look that both Pepper and Robert give him are just like...
Right.
I'm sorry, Pepper and Tony. Yeah. I had to think about the fictional names. But, yeah.
It makes me wonder, so what did they end up telling that press conference?
Surprise, we're getting married! Yeah, I'm proposing! Yeah. Because, Pepper totally looked like she was ready to say yes right there.
Yeah. But, yeah. So Peter goes back home, and when he gets home, I don't know how the hell Tony orchestrated this, but when Peter goes home, his old new suit is sitting on the bed in a bag, and so Peter does get to keep the classic Spider-Man suit
with Karen.
Yep. Yeah, with Karen. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
And then of course he puts it on, and Aunt May shits a brick and drops an F-bomb.
What the credits roll?
Yeah. What did you think of this last scene?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was like it was jarring from the comics because he kept the secret from her for so daggum long. Mm-hmm. But I like the idea. I kind of do, you know? Like, he has, like, his supporting staff, his teammates on with him, and Aunt May gets to join that team now.
I don't think Aunt May's a supporting staff.
At this point, hell no. Eventually, I could see her being like go do what you gotta do, be careful, obviously, blah, 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 blah. The cliche thing you would want to say in that moment. Right. But I think at this moment, it was hilarious that she found out.
I thought it was funny, but at the end of the day, I didn't... I wish they didn't go this direction.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is just one big move too many,
Well, that could be a good layover setup even to the sequel again. Not, of course, for Infinity War. I don't see it playing any benefit there. But further on, I can see it being kind of cool. Just further down the road.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, but... and then especially for the first movie, like, damn. So not only are you going to do this, but you're going to reveal this to Aunt May... right here, right now.
Well, accidentally, he wasn't trying to.
No, but I'm talking about in the meta sense.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like I thought it was a funny scene, but ultimately I thought that it's not going to play the story any favors. At least not in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's cool.
Yeah. So let's go on to the mid-credit scene here, which is. And honestly, the mid-credit scene is the true meat of of the scenes here. So we go to Adrian. He's in jail awaiting trial, what we suppose, and he's greeted by Mac Gargan, aka Scorpion, and he talks to Adrian about killing Spider-Man, saying that heard that you know who he is and all this and that. Adrian protects the identity of Spider-Man by saying that if I knew who he was, he'd already be dead.
Yep.
Did you take anything from this?
Oh yeah, hard, dude. Like I speculated earlier, this is just another little bit of planting of that seed where it's like, oh, maybe we'll see them working together in a sense,
I don't want to see that either, though.
I don't really want to, but I think Marvel is clever enough with their Spider-Man movie telling powers to do something good and organic with that. And this is me hoping a lot, okay, because they did so well on this one. But at the same time, I don't see it being like just something that they planted and throw to the wind and just forget about. They could do that. It won't be the first time they've chosen to do something like that, but I could see them doing something clever here. Maybe nothing too thick and over the top, cliche and cheesy, like let's fight together, Vulture Spidey team up, the Vulture Spider, but
that'd be terrifying.
It would be horribly a Vulture Spider, a spider with wings that has all 8 legs and the talons on each leg. That's a horrible monster.
It has mandibles and a beak.
What couldn't it kill?
We just have to leave the country.
Or learn to be aquatic people.
Yep, that too.
Yep.
But no, anyways, but I hope that there's not some kind of Spider-Man Vulture team up. That's too.
I don't want anything cliche like the third Spider-Man where Green Goblin. That was horrible.
That was terrible.
I did not like that. Yeah, or nothing like that.
I didn't go a step further. Having Loki make the face turn to be a good guy was also eye rolling.
That was stupid. Yeah,
I mean, that's another example of them taking a great villain and then making him into this person that the audience can ooh and ah over. We don't need to see that with Vulture.
Well, here's another potential. Now I'm thinking about it. More so in the moment. We could just see this as the Vulture being understanding of Spidey and what he's doing and his resolve. Because remember, Vulture didn't start off saying, "Oh, I hate Spider-Man, I gotta beat the shit out of him." He started off saying, "I have to support my family."
Right.
So he can see
get out
that
of my way. Yeah.
There's a relation here. Like, oh, Spidey's just supporting his family and being the good guy and doing what he thinks is right. So there might be mutual respect there. And this is him just passing along the respect there, saying, you know what? I could in this moment screw him up, but instead I'm going to press circle and say, no, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I understand that completely, but I needed to die here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That this could just be the last. Like, all of a sudden, this is him doing his swan song, walking off the stage. Like, hey, I don't know who he is. Peace out. I'm in jail forever. Yeah. And this is the last we see of Michael Keaton.
Right.
Yeah. And it could very much be that, too. The setup was there, too.
So do you think we see Scorpion in the sequel?
Hell yeah.
Think so?
Oh yeah. They set it up way too well for that to not be a thing.
And I wonder,
unless they crossbones us again.
Oh gosh, they could.
They could. 10 minutes into the movie and Scorpion's wrapped up in webbing and shit. Like, okay, come on. Okay.
I hope not, because the guy that plays him, Michael Mando, he's actually a really good actor. Yeah. And they'd just be more waste of talent like they did with Frank Grillo.
Exactly. Yeah. Poor Frank. You deserved more, Frank.
Yeah.
You didn't deserve to die like that.
Let's go on to the post-credit scenes. I mean, I only have one word written here, just patience. Like that's what scene.
I was a little I was both laughing on the inside and upset that this was the second credit scene. Like, it was funny and it was great, and it was like, you trolled me.
Yeah, I look at it the same way as like Avengers 1. Like the mid-credit scene was the big Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the post-credit scene was the shawarma. Yeah.
Yep.
And I look at this the same way. Like the mid-credit scene was the meat. The post-credit scene was just for just for humor, and it did make me laugh.
Chris Evans hiding a part of his face because of like movie reasons the whole time.
Just yes, because he was filming Snowpiercer when they did that, and he had a beard growing, and he couldn't tragically shave his beard, so the studio gave him a prosthetic jaw, and they had him have his hand over his face, which is why Captain America didn't eat any shawarma.
Yep.
So
the more you know.
Yep. So overall, Kevin, what do you give this movie?
8.5, man. A strong 8.5. I loved it. There were a few things I wanted changed about it. Our boy Flash, complete joke. Like I would bully this little bitch, and then and I wasn't even a bully, but I was a nerd. But and then that was a little weird for me. And then there were just a few extended bridges, nothing too elongated, nothing too what the hell, but a few moments where I'm just like, oh, we connected this. Oh, okay, interesting. But other than that, dude, I loved the villain. You've heard me rant about this dude a few times now, and I'm sorry for that. But damn it, Michael Keaton was the shit to me. He was great. I loved him. Tom, of course, it's been said before. It deserves to be said one more time. He was a damn good Spider-Man. I was, at first, going into the movie, I was upset at the amount of Robert we've seen pre-movie, thanks to advertising and marketing, and let's put butts in seats. But I was not upset with the product we got and everything, and how little he was actually in the movie compared to what they made it appear to be. So overall, 8.5. I would gladly see this movie of my own free will. You know,
yeah.
How about you?
I go to 8.3.
Hey, close enough.
Yeah, like I said, I thought that this was a really fun movie, a really solidly good movie. I thought that it was tone appropriate. This is like this is the first Spider-Man movie that didn't have like New York threatening disaster results. This was a movie about a man who was doing a wrong thing, trying to provide for his family, and then Spider-Man learning the ropes and learning more about himself, trying to stop this man from from doing wrong things. This movie does a lot of things really well. Had Marvel just had their stereotypical villain in this movie, it would have fell flat. This movie would have done like maybe a 7 at tops.
Yeah, it would have. It would have just been another conveyor belt movie where it just like was put through the press, put through the format, and given this typical ass Marvel layering. But
yeah, I mean, you name the villain.
Name the villain, name the movie.
Yeah, Whiplash, Caecilius,
Craven
the
Hunter.
Craven hasn't been in a movie yet.
Oh no, that's what you were doing. Okay, I didn't realize the pattern you were going at. No, I thought you were just going at villains.
Like, what the fuck?
You didn't get that cameo? He was in Spider-Man 2.
I was like, I wish Craven was in a movie. I'd love to see Craven in.
That would be actually pretty awesome. Maybe
Yellow Jacket's another one. Ronin's another one. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, there's just a lot of those, one and done, one dimensional villains. Fortunately, Michael Keaton obviously was not one of them. It wasn't just the actor, because a lot of these other actors in these movies were also really good actors.
Oh yeah,
like Lee Pace, Christopher Eccleston. That's another one. Melkith. I mean, these guys are really good. So it's not the actors so much as it is.
This is just the big decision made by the big head,
right? Yeah. But fortunately, they put a lot of time and care into this villain, as they did into the hero. Yeah. Tom Holland, I think, is magnetic as Spider-Man. He's so charismatic. He has that youthful energy about him, and that's really likable. And he's the best Spider-Man overall.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's
sorry Andrew and sorry
Toby.
Yeah. I almost forgot his name. Shit. I'm sorry again, Toby.
Oh man. But let's go ahead and wrap this one up here for the night. Yep. But we hope that you guys like this podcast here, and if you do, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you already have, right? Yeah, you did. And if you feel so inclined, then you can leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps us out. When the big whiz at iTunes sees that the Superhero Home is getting some love, then we get more love from them.
Yeah.
And also, guys, Yeah, keep your eyes open because our Patreon page will be up before you know it. In just a couple weeks here, we're going to have some episodes up on our Patreon page for you guys here.
Some cool bonus content that we've never opened up about before. For instance, other movies and potentially other venues of media.
Yeah, or the movies or the video games. Maybe, we said maybe some Dragon Ball Z.
Maybe some Dragon Ball Z. Hell yeah, some Dragon Ball Z.
It's just all kinds of cool stuff, guys. All kinds of cult classic movies.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool TV shows. Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun though,
and a lot of fan favorites,
for sure. But yeah, guys, as always, if you have any kind of questions, comments, skills, threats, food, supplies, or wings, you can hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com.
Web shooters,
wings and web shooters.
Yeah.
Hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or the Facebook page, Superhero Homies. And as always, guys, tell all your friends and families about the Superhero Homies. That really helps us out. You help the Homie Nation grow, and we do really appreciate that, guys. And we're going to go ahead and close up a shout for the evening. My name's Quentin.
I'm your friendly neighborhood Kevin.
Catch you next time.